What's up, people? What's up, people? What's up, people? It is your boy MM2K of PNTS Network and StadiaDosage here again with episode 94 of SSC Podcast. I want to pop the names up and be all fancy and stuff, but I can't because my deck isn't working. But with that being said, you know who these people are. First up is our co-host, one of our co-hosts. The other one, I hope he didn't like fall through a manhole or something, but one of our co-hosts, our good friend, Peter Cottontail. Pete, how you doing, man? Uh-oh. Did we lose Pete?
Oh, man.
Okay, well, I guess we ain't gonna have Peter Cottontail on here, you know. But he is your other guest. Maybe he got sucked into the manhole, too. All right, well, you heard another voice in the background. Let me introduce you to our guests. First up, this guy's been here before, so he's really part of the panel, but he's been hiding from it. No, great guest, part of the Lounge panel, so he's going to be in here whenever he's available. This was his most recent availability, so we're glad to have him on. Our good friend Lo-Fi Monk. Lo-Fi, how you doing today, man?
Man, how's everybody doing? I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Oh, man.
Good to be back. Good to be back.
Thank you for being here, man. You know, been watching your content and enjoying your stuff since our last episode, and we had was a Stadia Community Day, man. That was a great event. Pulled out some good numbers, man. So haven't really talked to you since then. So glad to have you back, brother.
Yeah, it's good to be back. It's good to have a normal schedule, be able to hang out and see my friends again.
Awesome. And we got this guy on here, right? Let me explain who this guy is, right? Because he's been harassing me. I've had to file PFA papers on him because he's chasing me all over the interweb, right? And I had to give him cease and desist orders because he keeps wanting me to admit that Madden sucks. And I'll never admit that he's right live on air. You'll never hear me do that. But he's still my good friend. My good friend, Jeff G. Jeff, how you doing today, man?
Oh, can't hear you, Jeff.
Oh, Jeff, you're muted. You're muted, brother.
Such a noob. I am such a noob. Oh my God. The proper term for me, sir, is troll.
Oh, troll. Oh, okay. The troll.
Yeah. I prefer that.
I'll put that up there.
I have a non-gaming related question.
Yes, sir.
Why is it that when somebody doesn't show up or there's some issue, everybody automatically goes to the negative? Like in a work environment, like, well, what happens if he gets hit by a bus? Why did he have to fall down a manhole cover? Like I often say, what if I win the lottery and I don't want anything to do with you?
Well, that's still negative for me. How's that good for me? I don't care if you're happy.
Why did Peter have to?
Maybe he fell down a manhole and landed in a pile of money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
hey,
okay,
he
could be
met
that.
Mutant Ninja Turtles with the mutant rat and ate pizza. Who knows?
Yeah, but see, it's always something negative to the person who's
true.
Or Pete could have fell down a manhole like Lo-Fi said on a pile of money and broke his leg and he's bleeding to death on $250,000. Who knows? I mean, you know.
Again, too much negative. Why couldn't he have scratched he went to the store right before, he scratched the lottery ticket, it was $5 million, and he went, see ya, suckers, I don't need you people, I'm going to an island. Why could it not be that?
Pete would still come on the show. Hey, Pete, if you won $5 million, you would still come on the show, right?
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Yeah, that still works. This isn't even to spite you, Jeff, but like I would.
Pete,
I would just to talk about it.
Pete, if you won, not me, if you won $5 million, I wouldn't come on this freaking show. I'd be at your house. You know what I mean? So I can't blame you for that.
I'd come on the show, but I'd be at your house on the show.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, let's shout out this chat, man, before we get started, man. It's great stuff. This is going to be a hell of a show. Just by the pre-show, we didn't even want to go live. We were having such a good pre-show, but shout out to everybody that's here. We got Ray Sherrod, Bud, Nerds World in the house. We got our good friend Lo-Fi in the chat. We got Victor Del Maestro in here, Ron Slusher, David Window in the house as well. Who else we got? We got Sanchez kicking it with us, Jamie Reed, and we got Simulcur. Am I saying that right? I might be butchering that. Oh, this guy Ninja Guy X is in the house as well. My homie Suna Live. What's going on, Suna? And the Postmaster Dustin Aran. What's going on, good brother? Ray says troll during the day and pole dancer on OnlyFans at night. Holy cow, man.
Oh, wait, Ray knows. Ray's one of my biggest subscribers on OnlyFans and biggest tippers. So I do. I appreciate Ray. I love Ray. Thank you, Ray, for all the support.
Oh, wow. Well, unfortunately, I can't get the camera to work. Jeff's on camera, or he gives you guys a twirl live on air, you know. But we can't do that right here. Maybe we'll do it in the after show. With that being said, let's get right into what we're going to be diving into today, my friends. Today, we are doing, of course, episode 94 of SSC Podcast, and we welcome you back from our little short hiatus. In this episode, we're going to talk about the bountiful launch of the June Stadia Pro titles, lessons learned from Immersive Stream in today's newfound controversy. It was going to have Stadia bursting in flames and bubbling all over the place. The controversy surrounding Madden 23. We're going to talk about all that good stuff and a lot more. All right. So with that said, before we get into anything, I just want to remind people that if you are still interested, we got great creators right now, but if you're still interested in contributing to StadiaDosage.com, reach out to Jack Deslip. Let him know. And if there's still open slots there, he'll definitely let you know. I just wanted to pass that out. I think we're almost full, man. Almost full. So before we go full Mountie out here, you better talk to Jack. Secondly, Old Dirty Blasters. I don't have this in the notes, but look, man, we've been kicking ass and taking names later. And we're going to start doing some raids, and we're going to be doing some tournaments and stuff like that. There's a lot of things happening with the Old Dirty Blasters clan. That is our clan dedicated to high action games at the moment that are on Stadia and other platforms. We're trying to, inspire some crossplay. So if you're interested in that realm and you want to partake, it's definitely our Division 2 clan. Come and join us over at Old Dirty Blasters. Go to PNTSnetwork.com, look for the Old Dirty Blasters clan tab, and go ahead and click on that link and join us, all right? And last but not least, what did I have here in the notes? That was it. Let's talk about games. Let's talk about games, baby. Let's start with Lo-Fi Monk being how that foremost, our good friend Peter Cottontail broke his leg over a pile of money in a manhole. I'll start with Lo-Fi Monk. Lo-Fi, what you been playing this week, man?
Well, I've been doing my Far Cry 6 thing. I got a little series that I do called Gaming with Shorty. It's me and my wife, and we've been playing Rayman.
Okay.
And I do my first looks and of course Cloudy Thoughts. Oh
man, awesome stuff. Awesome. I love the Far Cry. And again, for those that are not familiar, we're gonna have a link. Or Lo-Fi at any moment could drop a link to his channel in the chat. We'll make sure that it's in the description too. But I love Lo-Fi's Far Cry 6. They're definitely one to behold. So definitely check them out. All right, we're gonna go to Jeff G because
excuse you.
Well, Pete, you're still trying to bandage up your wiggly leg, right? Because you fell down the manhole. Or are you ready to go?
That hurt my feelings.
All right, we'll let Pete go. Go ahead, Pete. What you been playing all week? Has it been Elden Ring?
Actually, no, it has not.
Oh, let me shut up then.
Thank you very much. It's barely been Elden Ring at all, even though I want to get back into it. It's calling my name. Okay. So I started getting back into Strangers of Paradise.
Oh, cool.
I've been playing some Vampire the Masquerade. That's a good game. It's a creepy game, but it's a good game. Epic recently had BioShock for free.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I started that, and man, bro, I don't want to play anymore.
Nah, that's not an option. That's not an
option. I don't
option.
want to play anymore. I feel like I'm getting close to fighting Big Daddy for the first time, and I don't want to do it.
Yeah, the game is creepy as hell, but that's your initiation. Like this conversation reminds me of when I was at work, and it was this guy that was asking for something and we couldn't supply it. We explained to him over the phone, look, we can't give you this, and he just kept saying it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable, and we didn't know what to say to him over the phone. Like me and my boss, we were young and fucking. Jesus Christ! It was still wet behind our ears. Excuse my French. Oh, forgot where I was at. And this guy literally had us on the phone for 3 days, and all he kept saying to us was, "That's unacceptable, not acceptable." So Pete, I'm telling you right now, you not finishing BioShock, it's not acceptable. It's unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
You got to finish that game. Unacceptable. You got to finish it.
I finished that game.
Yeah.
Like, I'm actually kind of scared too, dude, because like the first time I watched Big Daddy like smash a dude against the wall, and this is coming from someone who's never played BioShock.
Mm-hmm.
So like, bro, I know of BioShock, I've just never played it.
Yeah.
And bro.
Yeah, it's deep. It's deep.
Big Daddy killed like 2 people in 20 minutes.
You got to play that game because look, that game is to all of gaming to what I will say. What's the name of the Nathan Drake game? Uncharted. What Uncharted is to PlayStation games right now. Like everybody says that Uncharted birthed the PlayStation single player game, and I don't think that's a bad thing because if you look at the quality of them right now, it's great. But BioShock kind of is birthed how games are approached now because games are like multifaceted. Like they're not just RPGs or actions or platformers. They're like a mix of everything, a jambalaya of everything. And that kind of, I don't want to say it started, but it was made ultra popular to do stuff like that with BioShock. So you got to play that game. That game is so awesome. One of my favorite games of all time. So literally on my top 3.
It's a creepy game, bro.
Yeah, it is. Very, very creepy.
It's a creepy game. It's a very creepy game.
Anything else, Pete?
I've been playing Evil Dead.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good game. Very creepy
I've been wanting
game.
to play that.
Bro, lo-fi. You should. You really should. It's a very creepy game, though. But
I'm gonna
cool.
check out I'll check it out if you're streaming it.
Okay, I'll do that sometime. That game creeps me out. Call of Duty, League of Legends. I don't know why I got back into that godforsaken game, but I did. Apex, Fortnite, Dying Light 2. Bro, I've just been playing everything. I've been playing on Destiny 2. I've been playing games on Stadia. I was gonna get Deliver Us the Moon. I gotta get into that. I started playing Far Cry Primal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What'd you think about that?
It's an interesting like take on coming from Far Cry 5 and then going into Primal is like weird.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, actually,
I like it.
Primal is a reskin. Tell me, Lo-Fi or Jeff, if I'm right or wrong about this, but Primal is a reskin of 4, isn't it? I think all they did was take the map.
That makes sense.
They took the map from 4 and just made it prehistoric, I think.
Oh, that's weird. I never even thought about that. But
Yeah,
I mean, the game is very.
Wait, they did what now?
It feels exactly the same.
Yeah, Far Cry Primal. All they did with Far Cry Primal is take Far Cry 4 and just reskin it and remap it and made it prehistoric. Like Far Cry Primal was supposed to be an expansion, and Ubisoft said, "F it, here goes a money pit, or not a money pit, but here goes a money scheme. Let's just make it a full-fledged game," and that's what they did. So basically, the landscape is Far Cry 4, except
Just prehistoric.
Just prehistoric. Yep.
I never thought that's so stupid. Why?
Well, they got away with it. See, here's the thing: they got away with it with Far Cry Blood Dragon. See, Far Cry Blood Dragon is a reskin of 3, but it's in the future, right? And that was DLC. You know,
I feel like Ubisoft pulled off the biggest scam of all time.
I was a Blood Dragon junkie. Yep.
They constantly reuse their resources anyway in all their other games.
Well,
so.
yeah, but that's
it doesn't
not
bother
a
me
bad
at all.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
like
doesn't
that.
bother me at all.
Like I don't like, and I hear this discussion so much, dude. That's not a bad thing. Like there's so many new games that just reuse. Dude, Elden Ring uses so many assets from the Souls game. It's not even funny.
Yep.
Like they take from Bloodborne, they take from everywhere, dude. So it's like, and yes, I still like fawn over that game like it's my own child. It's a fantastic game.
Well, that's why when a lot of people say, "Oh my God, Stadia's not coming out with the games that I want to play," this has nothing to do with Stadia. I just look at the entire gaming landscape, and I'm not jumping for joy right now. So that's why I'm fine now. Now, granted, if this was 2018, right, and the only thing Stadia was coming out with was Pizzle Puzzle Popple, then yeah, I'd have a problem. But this is 2022 ain't looking too hot, man.
Something that's unknown, dude. Like I like nothing. I have interest in like nothing coming out, and I'm not gonna lie. Just like side thought, bro. I'm looking at this Avatar trailer, and it looks so different. I don't know why. It looks really weird, but.
I would never say Stadia doesn't have the games or isn't getting games. But
that's the
I'm
thing,
totally with you. There's game like I wanted Evil Dead. I was like, that could be a game. That could be a game that comes to State. Come on.
There's no, I don't know about that because I could get it on Game Pass and Evil Within 2, and I just like, bro, I can't. I can't bring myself to get into it. That game's creepy. I'd watched like the trailer for it, bro. I'm good.
Well, if you're into the movie, you're gonna love the game.
No, I'm good, bro. I got
the lead actor's son was a part of the dev team.
Oh wow!
Well, like,
okay, I didn't
really.
know this.
That would explain why the game is so good to the movie.
Bruce Campbell, his son Andy Campbell.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh wow. Okay. All right. A little fine with the crazy unknown facts, man. My brother.
I'm a fan of the movie.
Yeah, my brother is good with that stuff. He's like, you know that taco that you're eating, the corn was rolled off the back of a woolly mammoth. Like, no, brother, I don't. I didn't know that. Yeah. Oh no, I didn't know that. That's awesome. Awesome stuff. Hey Jeff, you've been quiet too long, Jeff. I know you're out there doing 80 business transactions and selling $500 million in cryptocurrency. But we got to tap your brain.
No, they can't see what only you guys can see. I'm just lying in my.
Very, very comfortable right now.
I had to switch from the desk chair into the recliner because you can't see me anyways.
He said it's like I'm not getting fancy for you guys can't see me. Jeff, what did you think about BioShock before we asked you what you've been playing? What you think about BioShock?
I've never played it.
Oh no!
You guys
deceiveth me. I got two people on this panel that never played BioShock. Hey, Lo-Fi, what should I do? I don't know.
You have to remember, I am old, and
we're both old.
I'm way older than you. I'm way older than Rock. Hey, come on.
Look, you make the Metamucil sandwiches. I drink. I make the Metamucil tacos. We're both old, man.
So I am no good at these kind of games. So I stick to games that I'm good at.
Oh wow. No, but I'm not gonna lie to you, Jeff, and say BioShock doesn't require any skill. No, that's BioShock 1, not so much, but BioShock 2, oh yeah, that's a whole different animal.
I'm learning. Well, yeah, you really don't need anything with BioShock 1, bro. Like, there's no, I keep forgetting there's no aiming. So, like, I'll just constantly be switching because I think that's the aim button. And I'm like, bro, I was like, what am I doing?
Game is crazy. Okay, all right. Well, Jeff, what have you been playing, our good friend? Some more Killer Queen Black. I saw your Wreckfest. What's some of the stuff in totality you've been playing this week?
So, my channel pivoted unbeknownst to me. It was not planned. I didn't sit down and say, I'm going to pivot my channel. It just kind of happened. Because I've always been playing Stadia. And then a year and change ago, I added in Retro Friday night. So Friday nights, I play retro console. Yes. PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, Sega Genesis, whatever else I can drag out of my closet and hook up. But on Mondays and Wednesdays, and it just kind of happened. It was not, I didn't sit down like people sit down. They're like, I'm changing my channel and I'm pivoting. I didn't do that. I just started playing games with my friends. So Monday night is Wreckfest Monday. And people jump in and we play Wreckfest. And then Wednesday, I've always liked Kratos since it launched first on Stadia. And so I've been playing that. And then Crow Resin, friend of the show and friend of everybody, stops in and he started playing with me every Wednesday. And last few Wednesdays, Primo, another friend of the channel and friend of the community, has jumped in, and Certified Doc and Ray and SPG and other people, and we just started playing that. Little Super Animal Royale, my channel on Mondays and Wednesdays just turned into community play. It's just, and now it looks like I'm going to be adding golf with friends. I know we're going to get to that in another section, but it's just turned into community play. I just fire up these games that we can all play as a community, as opposed to me. And I've done the odd stream. I did a couple of city skylines. Lo-Fi jumped in and was laughing at me when I named my when I named my dump after William. And then I put the cemetery right across the street from the dump, because I figure if you're taking your trash out, then you bring the dead too. It's kind of like a 2-for-1, saving you a trip on that side of town.
It was good stuff.
And he was laughing that I was making my citizens drink poo water, and so I did a couple of, it was a long weekend in Canada, so I did a couple of extra things just because I was bored. But yeah, Mondays and Wednesdays is community play night, Wreckfest.
Awesome. And
Crata, Super Animal Royale, and now golf with friends. And then, of course, Retro Friday nights. I mix it up with a bunch of retro games on the PlayStation 1, 2, 3, if you think 3 is retro. Some people do, some people don't.
3's not retro.
So.
3's not retro.
You don't think so?
No, 3's not retro.
All right. Well, we'll have you on the show, and you can explain what retro is to you and why it's not.
Like, I know retro. I was born in 93. I know retro. That's not.
Born in 93. Oh, God.
Yeah.
I was well into my. I was born in
the good year.
I was well into my career in 93. I was watching, shout out to Purple Haze. She had a friend of the show, William, on, and it was funny listening to them talk about, the shows in the 80s, when they had color. Oh, you guys in your color shows, not the black and white stuff that I grew up on. All the TVs we had were black and white. My first television in my room was a black and white television.
I remember it was a big deal getting a color TV.
So yeah. It was to have a color TV in your room. Oh my God, that was like that was like heaven. I had one of those.
So anyway,
small...
so that's what I've been doing. So yeah, Retro Friday nights is.
You know what, Jeff? I like that idea, and what we need to do is, like, particularly for the community update thing, the weekly community update, get together and try to separate events like yours from just the regular streams. And nothing, and I don't want to say that like the regular streams, aren't great, but whenever there's situations where the communities can hop in with content creators, I mean, really that's like the apex of Stadia, right? So.
Well, William, everyone knows Stadia Pro Gaming, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. He usually does something community play. And again, that's the middle of my work day, so I try to slide in, and slide out. with him. And I don't play often because I'm not good at those games. I can't. Anyone who's watched me knows I can't shoot worth crap.
You know what? That's not true. You know what?
Oh no, it's true.
As an old man myself, I used to think the concept, because I was like you for years. Like I totally skipped, and I mentioned this on the Retro Gaming Show the last time I was on. I totally skipped the N64, right? Because the whole concept of first person shooting to me was stupid. Like if you couldn't see the whole screen, I thought it was dumb. So I skipped that whole generation, right?
How are you gonna skip the Nintendo 64? Hold on, what?
That's
Why?
how old I am. Yes, that's how my old brain worked.
But see,
You
what got
skipped
me
an
into
entire good generation?
Oh, dude.
Mhm.
Yeah, you did. But I remember getting Doom on floppy when it was like freeware,
Yeah.
and playing that.
That was my brother.
Yeah,
Bro,
so I was ready.
You know what used to be new tech to me is when you could play Doom on the calculator. That used to be brand new to me.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how old I am. Like I used to think that was the coolest thing ever. And now I realize that tech is like just might as well be as old as the dinosaurs, dude. And I'm just like, great.
Yeah, I thought the whole concept was dumb, and that's how old I am, because I'm used to the platformers and stuff like that.
N64 had the greatest games of the generation.
I couldn't stand that blocky look. This is just me.
Okay,
This is just
bro.
me and my old brain.
Okay, I get that, but like you couldn't even enjoy games like Pokemon Stadium, like at all.
No, nothing. Nope. I skipped the whole
It wasn't
generation.
even a first-person shooter.
I skipped it. I didn't care
When
anything associated. It was guilty by association. I skipped it.
Hey man, I'm sorry, you had no childhood.
For 64, when
Yeah.
it came to playing games, we went home and we played PlayStation games. But hanging out with friends, we all did 64.
Yeah, see, that's what I did. I didn't hang out with friends. I didn't have any friends. All I had was the PlayStation at home.
And you're forgetting that when they came out, we were already working. We had jobs.
Yes.
We weren't sitting around coming home at 3:00 after school because
after eating those spaghetti and chicken fingers. Tell them, Jeff.
Exactly.
We had jobs. So
we had jobs. We had on the side of the cliffs and everything.
We didn't have girlfriends. Oh God, no. I can't speak for him, but I was a nerd. I didn't have girlfriends.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Anyways, so we had jobs that we had to come. We had we had to pay rent. We had to, I had rent that I had to pay. I was making 1992. I was making $40,000 a year, and I was paying rent. I had my Dodge Aries K car that I borrowed forever indefinitely off my parents. And you tell me that was a chick? Let me tell you, that was a chickmobile. I'm just gonna say. If you don't know what a Dodge Aries K car is, fire up the Bing.com and put that in your little Bing.com. Sorry, we're a Microsoft partner here. I have to promote.
I'm in incredible disbelief.
Wristwatch for all. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Yeah, this is great. I knew this was going to be a great show. We may not hit any topic today. We don't need to. I love it.
Crap, dude, I'm crying over here.
Jeff, that's why Jeff's got to be a regular.
I had my Dodge Aries K car. I would pull up to the mall, and there'd be all the dudes like Peter and Lo-Fi and Ray and SPG, and they'd all have their souped-up little cars. And then I'd pull up, and all the women would go, "Dude, he's driving that. He's got to be hung like a horse."
That good, huh?
Yeah, it was really a gelding, but whatever.
We just raised the viewer rating from PG to NC-17. All right, just so everyone's aware. No, that's not great stuff. Yeah.
So, anyways, yes.
Those were great times. Jeff, we can go tell our old yuppie stories. I got a few. Oh my God, those were great times, man. Weren't those great times financially, dude?
Oh God, yeah.
Jesus Christ, like that was. Jeff is older than me, so I was like super young, and I was like my first foray into getting this stuff, and the money at that time was so good. It was ridiculous. Like for lunch.
You're like a little kid in a candy store just going wild just because you can.
Oh, yeah. We literally, like for lunch, I wouldn't even go get lunch. For lunch, I would go to Lazarus and buy watches and shoes.
Really? Just because?
I just had too much money.
How do you have
See, I grew up in Hamilton, Canada. My mom stayed home, as a lot of the mothers did in the 70s. My dad worked at the big steel company, and he was okay, but money was always tight. So, and not until I actually got my job when I was able then to actually and spend on some of this, right? I did talk my dad into, and it took me ages to pay him off because he used his credit card that he just got to buy a Sony Discman when I was in high school in the 80s. But yeah, money was not tight. I was not rich like you, sir.
It was just when the industry, and I lucked into it because they were looking for me to just open mail. I don't want to get to that. And then what ended up happening is they said, "Oh, you're going to school for business management and accounting." Oh, okay. Well, and it just so happened that we had some misfits on the floor. People would be drunk like that. The 90s were crazy.
Well, they were.
When people had money, and literally it was nothing. I got to be careful how I say this because I don't want you guys to associate and know who I'm talking about. Because I can get myself in trouble. It was nothing for me to walk into a bathroom where all the execs and the VPs were and see somebody doing a line. I'm not lying. Like literally, and you're like, because people just had too much money. Like me and my friend was poor, I was poor, and then in a matter of like 8 or 9 months, our whole situation changed so much to where, again, we didn't know what to do with this money, so we literally go to Lazarus, which is like a high-end Macy's, and just go buy $500 watches, and shoes and stuff over at Lazarus. It was crazy, but then when 9/11 hit, then that's when everything changed. So that's when, but okay.
I spent a lot of time in bars, and there were many times I sit back now and I was like, how in the world did I drive home? How in the world did I drive home? But it was the 90s. It was the 90s.
It was the 90s, dude. Nothing like it.
And, no, it was.
Love my kids, man. But if I could just stay warped in the 90s, I would.
Even the 80s, even the 80s were.
See, I was too young for the 80s. Yeah, I was still a whippersnapper in the 80s.
I was hitting my stride in the 80s, and the big hair and the I still got the hair. I got the hairband. Got the long hair going. No one on camera can see, but. Yeah, those were. Anyways, what are we supposed to be talking about?
I know. We're supposed to be talking about games. Okay, like Lo-Fi and Pete.
That's
they're like edging away from their mic, and they're like, they're about to turn their PCs off. Like, let's get away from this stuff. Anyway,
that's why I play my retro stuff. That's why I do the retro podcast. Shout out to Ms. Tracy Ray and SPG.
Shout out to that. Yeah, great show. Love being on there last time. All right, so again, we told you guys what we're going to talk about. Let's get the topics on there. You know how we do. Let me show you something. All right, that's not what I wanted to show you, so let's go back here. Jeff had to be here while we had technical difficulties. All right, so first what we want to talk about is we want to talk about the pro games, the Stadia pro games. There's 7 of them total. For crying out loud, Jesus Christ!
Not bad for a dead platform.
Yeah. For a platform on life support, that is not bad.
Zombie.
Yeah, exactly. So we had 7 games. Deliver Us the Moon, which a lot of people said, "Oh no, that means Wired P is moving their support." That game finally came. What else did we have here? Let's see here. We also had Ben 10 Power Trip. A surprise to many core gamers because they're like, "Oh, that's an open world game." Now I could show you guys because I think I fixed.
That's from Outright, right?
Yeah, that's from Outright. Isn't that crazy? Everyone's like, awesome. "Yeah, Ben 10 Power Trip."
I think it's a good time because it's summer. The kids are home.
Exactly. What else we got here?
My 19-year-old was excited about that because he used to watch Ben 10 when he was little. Actually, both my kids do.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, so like my son's like he's like, "Oh, Ben 10 came to Stadia," because he's a founder like me, and he he used to watch it. I've got a bunch of Ben 10 games for the PlayStation 2.
And lastly, Death Run TV, which seems to be like the favorite for many in this whole for red games. So let me ask. Let's start with you, Pete. Let me ask, what are your thoughts on the entire lineup here of Stadia Pro games? What are your thoughts? What would you rate it?
Okay, first off, Jeff, with respect to you, I'm a noob too because my mic has been muted this entire time and I've been trying to talk.
You've been talking. Oh, he's probably angry at us. Like, he was probably telling us, Jeff, shut the hell up. We don't want to hear all that old crap.
But the pro lineup has actually been pretty entertaining this month so far. I haven't played Delivers. Dude, I haven't played the mass majority of them. So I haven't played Through the Darkest of Time. I haven't played Ben 10, Golf with Your Friends, Lake. I've Delivers the Moon. I want to, but I've only been playing Death Run. Death Run and Destiny.
I got it. Okay. But I mean, just 5,000 feet view. What would you rate this week? I mean, rate this month of Stadia Pro games.
8 out of 10. No, 9 out of 10.
Okay.
I'll do 9. No, I'm gonna do 9.
You'll do 9? Oh, okay. All right. Oh,
I'm gonna be gracious.
Yeah. All right, Low Fi. What are your thoughts? What did you think? The Dead platform dropped 7 games. What did you think about these 7 games? What would you rate this Stadia Pro lineup this month?
Well, I've only had a chance to look at Death Run TV and Tohu.
Yep.
I think yeah.
Yeah, I think yeah.
But oh yeah, and I did get to play a little bit of golf with friends. I played it by myself though. But
You're not even playing with friends though.
Right.
Just golf with lo-fi.
I would say I'll give this one. I'll give it a 7 because there's so many.
Yep.
I would have gave it a higher score if they would have sprinkled one of the AAA games in there.
I got you. Yeah.
But I mean, we just got some good ones.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a good release. I think altogether, when you consider it, it's creme de la creme of indie games.
Yep. Jeff, what about you, brother?
You know what? Stadia's got to slow down. There are just too many games. My backlog of shame. Backlog of shame. And I was actually surprised. I thought we'd get a couple.
Look at the size of his log.
And it's just like my back. Yeah. And anyways, I was surprised. I was surprised at what came. Pleasantly surprised. I played Deliver Us the Moon and Lake. I work out in the morning. I know you can. That's surprising here, but I do. And so I played that while I was working out, and I played Lake this morning while I was working out. Last night I I kind of intended on it, but we finished playing Crata, and I said, "Do you guys want to play?" Because there was a few people there. There was Doc and Certified Doctor and Primo and David Wilson and that, and we're like, "Do you guys want to play that golf with friends?" And they're like, "Yeah, we haven't tried it yet." I saw Rock and Pro playing it earlier in the day, and I went, "Oh, that looks kind of cool. Well, let's fire it up." So those are the 3 that I've played. I will try and get to the other 2. Time is a scarce resource in my life, and so I don't know if I'll get to the others. I want to try them, but I really like the 3 that I played.
Yeah. Yep.
Will I ever get back to them? I don't know. I hear Delivers the Moon is a quick game. Somebody said they did it in a shorter period of time than some others. If somebody in the chat can confirm or deny that.
Isn't it 3 hours?
To be played repeatedly, I think. Is it? No? I've never played it.
I bet it's 3 hours. A lot of these games are about 3 hours sometimes.
3 hours. Yeah.
I mean, Death Run is the kind of game that you could just play for
it's great if you're just like a really
if you just want like something like short to like run through really quick.
Yeah, something to jump in and out of.
I'll throw that on tomorrow morning while I work out. While I ride the bike.
There you go.
Oddly enough, and I didn't go through the games that I played, but I was for a later segment on this episode, I was testing out Control on AT&T, and
I
didn't get a chance to play any of these games, but no, I mean, I'd give it a 7.5. I'm with Suna here in the chat. I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10. Yeah, a lot of great games. I think a great indies. Ben 10 Power Trip, I'm hearing a lot of good stuff about. I'm only giving it a 7.5 out of 10. You know, based off of just looking at it, I need to play them. My score might go up, you know, based upon that. But I'm with Lo-Fi a little bit. We're kind of used to, you know, there being a AAA thrown in here. There wasn't this month, but that's okay. This isn't like the first month where this happened. I took a look at 2021, and I think we did have a month around, not June, but around the same time where there wasn't a AAA game in the Stadia Pro lineup. So, you know, I think it's fair. It's great that it's 7. That's fantastic. I think these are quality titles. I give it a 7.5 out of 10.
Y'all are crazy.
Stadia Pro Gaming says through the darkest of times is fire. So I could be wrong.
You know what?
These are high-rated games.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not much of a horror fan, dude, which is saying a lot because I played through Resident Evil Village like it was nobody's business. But like,
that's the problem. It looks like a great game. I'm just not in the mood for that right now.
That's like a mood you have to be in, dude. And I'm not. That's a game I just won't touch just because I'm not. I just like I'd have no like reason to play the game. I guess like I wouldn't be into it if I did.
Yeah, you got to be in the mood for that one. And
so
I totally agree.
I'll play it. It's just not right now. Like just like Delivers the Moon, I'll play it, just not right now. I mean, it's in my library. I'm going to get to it eventually because I just have weird urges to like just go play certain video games. But like, it's you have to it has to be a mood to play games like that. Like, I'd rather play Touhou before I'd rather play Through the Darkest of Times. It's like my mood right now.
It's not even the gameplay involved with that game. It's just the content of it. It's just
exactly. It's the mood of it.
It's just the entire.
You got to be in a certain place for it.
Yeah, and I'm just like I'm dealing with too much right now, bro. I can't.
I get it. But
I can't do it.
It's critically acclaimed, dude. You know, like all over the place.
I heard, in all seriousness, I heard it's actually really good, and I've been watching like part of like the gameplay and stuff, and like it looks really good. I just am seriously not in the mood for that type of game.
Yep. No, but it definitely, if you once you do boot it up, I hear that you're in for a hell of an experience. So definitely. So let me ask you guys this. Deliver Us the Moon. We got it. I've been told that I
still haven't played it.
Yeah, me neither. But I've been told that I don't do enough couch talk, meaning for the people that are going out of their minds, oh my God, that are panicking about everything, that I don't entertain the panicking people enough, Jeff, right? Like those, the doomsayers. So I'm going to entertain the doomsayers right here. So for the doomsayers that thought because Deliver Us the Moon was delayed that it meant it wasn't coming. Now we got it this month.
Like that.
So let me ask for the people that want to be sat on the couch and talk to, because they panic about everything.
We hold their hand too.
Yeah, we hold their hand. Give
hold
them
their hand and be like, just listen. Just listen to me. You need to hear this.
Give them some candies and a stuffed giraffe. Yeah, we'll do all that.
Hey, give them a Jolly Rancher. They're good.
Many were concerned that it wasn't coming. So I'll start with Lo-Fi this time. Lo-Fi, were you concerned that it wasn't coming too? Or why or why not?
No, not at all. Because, and this is why. Wired Productions, they've already publicly stated that they're trying to bring their whole library.
Yes.
Number one. Number two, they're very involved with the Stadia community.
Yes.
I know they've commented on several pieces of content that I've made, and I don't always have developers just peeking in and checking out my gameplay. Yeah. So that, and on Twitter, they're very active with the community. So
it's your voice, Lo-Fi.
It just it wouldn't benefit them to say, nah, we're not going to bring that one. The one you wanted.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'll tell you, bring Martha is Dead, please. Hurry.
Yeah.
Dude, if they brought that game, I would actually play that game, even though Ray's
it's coming.
Clip, bro.
Yeah, they said that's what, yeah.
I I know, but like that clip that Ray did, Ray knows what he's talking about, bro. Ray, that
Oh
clip you showed with
yeah.
Martha's,
Oh, that was
I'm
amazing.
not sure I want to play, bro,
Just
because
plays it a
I
bunch of
think
times.
I think as far as that game goes, they might let the heat die down a little bit on it, you know,
yeah,
and then
because
bring
that
it back because
game,
all these content creators will start doing it again.
bro, I kind of wish I won the camera set, to be honest with you. That would have been awesome. I would have loved that, dude. I would have taken so many pictures of just the most random things imaginable.
Yep. I get it. Let's ask Jeff, because Jeff, you look too comfortable there, so we got to shake things up a little. Jeff, I know you have something to say, Jeff, to all the naysayers that were like, "Oh, Wired P is leaving. They left it." I mean, what? Were you first? Were you concerned? Why or why not? And I think we already know the answer to that. But can we hear from you, my good friend, about all these people that every time there's a slight change or a delay in something, it's proof evidence that Stadia is about to die? We'll get your thoughts on that after you answer the prior question of, were you concerned at all?
I was not. I could care less. Games will come when they come. Yep. My backlog of shame. If Stadia came out and said, you know what, we're not putting any games out this month. All right, excellent. I've got my community play. I've got a backlog of games that I haven't gotten back to. And number of times I've said in chats and on other shows, stop with the games. You need to slow down. And there was probably a reason, and someone smarter than me and somebody who cares probably has said it has something to do with some agreement with some other company, whether it's Sony or whatnot, and some exclusive nonsense. I don't care. When it comes, it comes. If it doesn't come, it doesn't come. If it's the AAA games come or not, I don't care. And when people say, oh, there's no games, you know what? There's 151 games in my backlog that I haven't gotten to yet.
Yeah.
And as a Google Glass user, as I always will put, I am a Google Glass user, not former user. I still use my Google Glass, which they stopped supporting a number of years ago. So when they say, oh, Google's going to stop supporting it, then what are you going to do? I go, I still use my Google Glass. What do you say to that? They stopped supporting that, and I still use that. So yeah, STFU. And I'm also remember, I'm old and I'm curmudgeony, as Ray and SPG will probably tell you. I'm old and curmudgeony. And so get off my lawn and carry on with your day. And I'm going to keep playing. And there was a Sony and Xbox guy going on about something in some thread that I tripped on, and I replied and I said, who cares? Play the games. Play the games you want where you want. Who cares?
Yep.
Who cares? Yep. Just play the game. You want to play it on Sony? Okay.
Go ahead. Yeah.
You want to play it. You want to play it somewhere else. And and I was last summer I was up north. Here in Ontario, at a beach town, and I was gonna try and play. Actually, I was actually gonna stream from my car at the waterfront till it started to rain. Then I gave up and went inside like a wimp because I'm old. But I was playing with Mr. Lewis, and these preteens walked by, and they saw me sitting in the back of my car, and I had my chair, and I was sitting kind of like this that nobody can see playing, and they're like, "What are you playing?" And I said, oh, I'm playing Marvel Avengers. And they're like, oh, how are you? How are you? You're in your, how are you? What? I said, oh, I'm playing it on Google Stadia. They're like, oh, well, I hear that sucks. And I went, yeah, it does. I'm only playing it, on 4G from the back of my car. But yeah, it sucks. And they're like, but are you? They just did not. They couldn't. Their little brains were frying because I was literally playing it for. They're like, that looks pretty good. I know, but it sucks. They're like, but what? Just their little brains couldn't handle the fact that it looked that good. And I was playing it, and if it hadn't started to rain, I would have streamed from the waterfront. But it started to pour rain, so I went back to the hotel. But you know what? Just play where you want to play. And I don't. Did Elden Ring come to Stadia? I don't care. I wouldn't have played it. Most of the AAA game. I'm old. I've told you before. I'm no good at those games. Watch me in Red Dead. I'm like just trying to. I can't aim. I can't. I can't.
Jeff, maybe Elden Ring would wake your brain up because you could realize you could do whatever you wanted. Or maybe you just like Hey, Jeff, no offense to you, is I see how lazy you are right now. If you want to have sleepy time too, I'm okay with that.
Well, it is 6 o'clock. It is, nap. It is almost dinner. It is almost bedtime for us old people.
Are you going to order me food before you go to sleep?
I wasn't going to. No.
This is sardine and warm milk time, right, Jeff?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So, anyways, Wired. What was your question? What? I don't know.
No. But you gave your message. Yeah, and
I don't care.
Yeah.
I care a little tiny little bit, tiny little bit. But other than that, about one particular thing. But other than that, I don't care. If the games come, great. If they don't, if Deliver Us the Moon didn't come this month, would I have cared? No, I would be playing Lake. Or I'd be playing. I haven't even got. There are April games I still haven't played yet. I know Mr. Lewis. He has to play every game first look. He's got to touch every one. There are April games I have not played yet. So my backlog of shame is huge. So there you go.
Yep. I think a lot of people.
Yes, Ray. Somebody's got to smash up my oatmeal so I can have my bed and have my nap and have my beddy time.
Wipe it across his lips, so it doesn't droop on his knees.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like I still haven't finished World War Z. People complain, there's no top action. I know there's a debate on whether World War Z is AAA or not. I consider it, AAA maybe on the lower end, whatever, but again.
My man Suave keeps saying, hey, you're going to play WWZ with me. And I'm like, I'm just not good at those games. It's WWZ in Canada for those that are wondering.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many titles to play. I think a lot of people, again, didn't realize what Stadia's aim was. Like, even if they were getting all the AAA games, no, I'm sorry. Let me take that back. Even if they were getting more AAA games at this moment, and for those that have questions about why maybe they're not getting them right now, I highly urge you to go watch Sunny Cloud Gaming's video. Like, I know people tune in here and they say that they love to hear the church and hear me preach to the choir. He had me jumping out of my shoes and socks when he gave his podcast and answering that question. It was so spot on and made so much sense. I even told him, I said, I wish I could just take your breath. And this is going to sound weird, brother, to just hear me out here. I said, I wish I could take your brain and just rub it all over the cloud community so things can start making sense to them, because everybody's just in a full-fledged panic all the time. It's different if you don't like what you're seeing. As he says, you got to speak with your wallet and you go elsewhere. That's fine. But if you're enjoying the platform, but because somebody's leaning over your shoulder, I don't know if they're going to be around tomorrow, man. And then all of a sudden you get all nervous and you start wetting your trousers. Well, look, just follow what's going on here and you'll understand that this is a lull. They had to make a pivot. Sonny describes it as a step back, however you want to call it, but they're doing whatever they're doing to make the platform more solidified and better for the long term to get those AAA games. They've said it, the actions show it. It's just that we got to understand the precedent. It takes time for those things to come to fruition. So with that being said, I'm with Jeff. I'm not worried. I'm not concerned. I wasn't with one of these people that were, losing their lunch over Deliver Us the Moon. I got so many games to play. I love the Ubisoft games. One or two games are not.
Nobody has a comment when I say, but they stopped supporting my Google Glass and I still use it.
Yeah, exactly.
So if they stop supporting Stadia, why? Who are you? Are you head of Google? Are you? I also many times will say, oh, congratulations on being the head of Alphabet, because you obviously know it, are making these decisions. How can I still use my Google Glass?
Yeah.
And if they stopped supporting that years ago, explain that to me.
It doesn't make any sense. And
then
Google,
I'll be like, and then they'll make some comment. I go, why are you still talking about this? And then they'll comment like a day later. I go, dude, that was yesterday.
Because they got to get this younger generation.
Someone else will jump
this younger
in.
generation. They got to get the last word, Jeff. They got to get it. That's why. they wouldn't argue
Someone
it
else
when they
will
get to the
message
last
me.
one.
I'll go, A, who are you? I wasn't talking to you. And B, that was conversation from yesterday. I've moved on.
Moved on.
Like,
I'm
I'm
actually
sorry.
playing games while you're still thinking of a response to me.
I come from the bulletin board system world back in the 80s. We would get illegal games, and I will say it.
Oh, yeah.
Within hours of them being released. And if I would go to a board and it would be like, oh, and that was yesterday's game. Why are you putting up? That was yesterday. I downloaded.
Exactly.
I started the forget it. I want to, don't. That's why I hate Facebook. People will go, look at me. I was at. Oh, you're posting pictures. Is the game on now? I thought, or at the concert. They go, this was yesterday. That was. Well, why did you post it yesterday? Why are you telling me a day later
now,
you were doing something? I care now what you're doing. I've moved on. So.
Yep. I totally agree. Totally agree.
Pete, I'm an old curmudgeon.
Pete, you weren't concerned at all, right, about Deliver Us the Moon. You knew it was still coming, or did you have some concerns?
When they said it's like to just have patience, I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yep.
It's no longer my business, dude. I have everywhere I want to. I can game. I was like, there's other games I can play while I'm waiting for news for one. Like, it's not an issue for me if something eventually doesn't come, because I guess like I'm one of the few that has options. I guess, or like I can play elsewhere, but like it still sucks because I want to play on Stadia.
Yep.
Like there's games I won't get anywhere else because I know it's going to come to Stadia, and I'll just wait for it to come to Stadia before I'll get it on my PC, even though it's been on there for the past like couple months, and I could have got it whenever, but I didn't.
Yep.
I just waited.
You know the thing that kills me?
Oh my God, wait. God, you're not going to get it day
I know,
and
that's
date?
such a crazy.
Oh my God.
I know.
Crazy,
my God, like, are you crazy?
You know what kills me about all this, though? And again, I don't want people to think that I'm being unsympathetic to their concerns. I'm just not putting your concerns at the top of my pedestal. So maybe I am being unsympathetic. Maybe I just contradicted myself, whatever. But it's not that I don't care about people's concerns. I'm just asking you that if you have concerns, don't just run around like the sky is falling. Kick the tires and do some research. Like whenever something bothers me, I don't go, "Whoa, it's me, Bird. It's over. I don't have enough water to pay I don't have enough money to pay my water bill. I don't know what to do." Like I got to go find the money to go pay my water bill. You know what I mean? Like I look for solutions and answers to things, and that's when the anxiety goes away because I'm like, "Oh, this ain't that big of a deal, really." When I look into it, the funny thing about it is all these concerns about Stadia not being the one-stop shop and how these other platforms are so much better. Yeah, like, GFN or Luna, whatever, Xbox is so much better. But when you ask these people, what all do you have? Do you just have Luna or do you just have GFN? No, they got multiple platforms as well. You know what I mean? Like, so why does Stadia have to be the one-stop shop for everything? But your favorite platform, it's okay if you got to segment it with other platforms. You see what I'm saying? Like the hypocrisy there is just astounding to me. So I don't know.
It's great. It's great when people say Luna is the greatest thing since sliced bread, and I will comment and go, "You must be one of the 300 million people out of 7 billion who can play it. What about the rest of us in the world that cannot?" What? And I'll often say in Squids, shout out to your boy Squids who does the Chill Time. He'll mention Luna. I go, "What's this Luna you talk about?" Because most of us in the world don't know what you're talking about. You're just making up a word now.
You're just making up stuff.
You're making up words.
Yeah,
because
I mean,
most of us, you 300 million people can play it. The other 7 billion cannot.
It's a fair argument.
And they actually finally tweeted me back. I think that's only because I mentioned vet in the post, because they'd be like, Luna. I go, "When you coming to Canada? When you coming to Canada? When you coming to Canada? When you coming to Canada?" And then and I said, "Vet promised you were coming. He promised me it was coming."
You threw vet under the bus.
We have no information to tell you at this time.
Oh, okay.
Man.
That's interesting.
Only because I mentioned, Luna partner vet.
Shout out to Jack the Slip with the $10 sticker. Thank you so much, my good friend. We really appreciate you and all your efforts. Thank you so much, sir. So I guess my final question for this segment is I don't know if anybody's played Ben 10 or whatever. Everybody's been talking about that one, but what is your overall favorite title from these pro? I mean, and even when I say favorite, it doesn't necessarily have to be something that you've played, but the thing that's most interesting to you. What's the most interesting title out of here for everybody? We'll start with Pete first. We'll do Pete, Lo-Fi, and Jeff. What's the most interesting title for you here?
From these June ones only?
Yeah, from the June ones only.
Oh, Jeff. You know what? No, Jeff. I'm gonna respect my elders.
Oh, damn. You gonna let Jeff go first? Okay.
I'm gonna let Jeff go first.
Jeff, what's your favorite title? I stumped Jeff. He probably didn't want to go first.
I know. I haven't played them all yet, so I don't know. At the moment, I'm going to say golf with friends because I can add it to my community play on Wednesday nights, and I do like that. And good if you watch my stream from last night, for the first time in months, years, my son actually played with me. He came down and he was like, well, let me try. And then, because he's a founder, so I said, well, why don't you play? And so he went up, he actually joined. We invited him to the party chat, he joined in. And this was the first time my 19-year-old son, you guys, you got older kids, you know, that he actually played a game with me. Not just a game with me, but actually played it on stream with me and stuff. Okay. So that's why I'm going to choose golf with friends.
I was totally unaware that you had a 19-year-old son, and
my other one's going to be 21. My other one's going to be 21.
Holy crap!
I play with David Wilson. I said to him, my son is a year younger than you, dude. Told you I'm old. Yeah, so my 19-year-old and I have a 21. I have played with him, not on stream. He won't play it on stream with me. But I have played some games with my 21-year-old. Yeah, soon to be 21-year-old.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with that one.
The older kids always give you the shaft. My older son does the same thing to me too. Like my young son always asks me, Dad, when can we get on the stream together? And I blow him off. But I'll go to my older son. I'm like, hey.
That's so.
Isn't that horrible? I'm the worst dad in the world. I told you, I used to abandon my kids for Destiny. So, I made that.
I did that with my dad. He's like, he'd always want to play. He's like, you want to play like NFL Street with something? And I'm just like, I used to like not want to play anything with him.
Yeah.
But then he'd sit down and play like Call of Duty with me and stuff, dude. And I'm just like, dang. I was like, I should have asked more. And now he doesn't do anything but sit down and watch sports.
Yeah.
Yep.
Got to that age.
At all.
Yeah. Shout out to Primo. His daughter is I don't know how old. I'm gonna say 10. I have no idea how old she is. But she's come on and played Cradle with us. She doesn't come on the stream at all.
Oh, okay,
but
cool.
She jumps into the game. She jumps in the game and plays prop hunt with us. And he goes, oh yeah, she comes and sits right beside me. And I said, enjoy it while it lasts, buddy, because it's not gonna.
That's horrible. That's horrible.
It's true, but it's true.
Now she's turning 5, dude, and it feels like she's growing up so fast.
Yippers. By the way, that's my answer. I'm going to say golf with friends.
What's your favorite one out of this bunch that you're most interested in?
I would say Deliver Us the Moon, but honestly, just the same reason Jeff was saying, golf with friends is probably the sleeper here because the value it has is to play with your friends, and I can't wait to see a lot of people playing it on the stream. Really, it's gonna be fun.
Yep. I think golf with friends is a good one. I'll give mine's last. I really like that one. It's really going to showcase. It could possibly showcase the whole, crowd play, function.
It's going to showcase the community. We can all get together. I look forward to the next community day with somebody. Yes, I know I played Killer. I know I played Killer Queen Black on my next one. That's because I'm good friends with the Killer Queen Black team over there. I love those guys. But yeah, I could see some people playing that and everybody jumping in and having fun. It's like Lo-Fi said, it's a good community. It'll show the community for the haters. Like, you know what? Come and watch one of our streams. We all play together.
Yep. Pete, what's your favorite one or the one that interests you the most?
I would have to say Death Run in the reason I
Yeah.
would say Death is because I like the whole, like, randomized things, and the soundtrack is just awesome. Way. So like, I could sit at the whole just like
Mhm.
jam out and you like for a
Yeah,
while.
for a good hour before you even
Oh
play.
yeah, I won the soundtrack on a Four
That
Scars.
is right.
stream.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man,
that is right.
that soundtrack jams. It's awesome.
That is right. Yeah. Yep. Awesome stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Pete. Death Run TV. I haven't played any of them yet, but again, I mean, these look like quality indie titles. And again, for those of you that are like, oh, this stinks. I get it. GFN, man, they came out swinging with some AAA titles. I mean, that's just how things fell for them. Great, but they had a setback. We're going to talk about that later with God of War for new recipients. If you already played the game, it sounds like that you're safe. But for those that didn't hear, God of War is going to go the way of the dodo bird July 1st if you haven't already got it. So that's going to mark that not only Stadia, but for a while, all these platforms, even the mainstream platforms, they're going to be running dry on AAA games. So it's going to be about the indies for a few months. You know what I mean? For a while.
Quick shout out in the chat to Primo. He says that she's 10, 11 next month, and it's true.
Okay.
She's pulling away. She's pulling away quick.
Primo!
And shout out to SPG. He says, don't discount Through the Darkest of Times. Very educational, very complex, very interesting game. So I have not gotten to it yet. So I'll have to put that in. Find some.
I'm gonna put that in.
Find
I'm gonna just do a mix. I'm gonna do a mix of. Shout out to Chariot Man. Chariot Man Gaming. He likes to do those mixes of games, and I think I'm gonna do that as well. So that's cool.
Chariot's like my favorite creators.
Yeah, I love Chariot Man.
I don't talk to him much, but like Chariot's one of my favorite creators.
Chariot Man, where you at, Chariot? Yeah, I haven't seen Chariot Man in a while, but yeah.
He's not even in the chat. Well, he was just posting a video.
Oh, was he? Oh, okay. He's probably doing a stream or something. Yep. And you know what? That reminds me, before we go to our next segment, I just want to announce real quick. I know we told everybody that we would be doing Wednesdays starting this week. My fault. I got my wife's rehab schedule back. She's not going to be out of rehab now until July 1st, which we're not happy about that, but that's her doctor. I think her doctor's just being lazy. So with that being said, yeah, we're going to be operating on Thursdays until the end of the month. So I just wanted to let everybody know that, because last week I told everybody the opposite. So yeah, Chariot Man's probably running the stream, but Chariot Man, if you come through, we appreciate it, good brother. Also, I think that, that's it for our general announcements. All right, great topic, guys, great discussion, but I think it's time to move on to Immersive Stream. Let me show you something. All right, so this is a tweet that was sent out by a good friend of ours. His name is Chris Holt. He's a freelance writer for Forbes and other places. Good friend of mine. And he was trying to drop me a hint about something. He even alluded to it on Twitter, that he was trying to drop me a hint. It wasn't in this thread, about Control now coming to AT&T via Immersive Stream. So he did he did an article about it, and then he did an interview about it as well, where he talked with let's go directly into the. He did an interview with, what the hell is this? God, this is an advertisement. I hate this crap, man. Jesus Christ. All right. That he did an interview with oh my gosh, if any of these things don't stop popping up. He did an interview with Dominic, I think, right? No, Dov Zimrig, head of product at Google's Immersive. He talked to them. He talked to 505 Games, and he also talked to the head, one of the VPs at AT&T. And one of the things that we learned from this Q&A from those three individuals is that, mainly from Dom, is that there's going to be more Immersive Stream partners to come. Stadia is actually a result of Immersive Stream instead of Immersive Stream being a byproduct of Stadia. And lastly, porting is a big thing. Let me see if I can find that part about porting. where they say that they're looking to, it says, for industry publishers, we know that platform porting costs can be a major blocker. This is why we've invested in developing tools to minimize engineering costs and time to launch, so that instead of months, it can just take weeks to get players in the game. So this is what I want to ask the panel. And I'm going to start with Jeff this time. We'll do Jeff, Pete, and then Lo-Fi. Why are these business-to-business deals, Jeff? Because you're the ultimate entrepreneur businessman. Why are these business-to-business deals a good thing for Stadia?
A good question. Getting more people playing and learning about it, right? Like I told you, those kids, they said, "Oh, Google sucks. I heard it sucks." Okay, well, you heard that, but they were watching me play, right? So I think more people who try it out, who may have never heard of cloud gaming, everybody plays games on their phones, right? I used to take public transit here in Toronto, and you just walk down the train. If you're in New York or Philadelphia, anywhere there's public transit, everybody's playing games on their phones, right? So this is just the next evolution. And Google has, Google's $1 trillion company. So they've got these relationships, and they're always looking to push the technology. They're always looking to push whatever. And so they've got to make these agreements, and you have to try stuff. Right. You got to try stuff, and you got to find out what works and what doesn't. And you develop the tech, and everything changes. So, I hope something like this comes to one of the crappy providers in Canada. The providers in Canada. That's hope awesome. I get to try this. I know there is VPNs, and I don't yell at me and at me to say, "Oh, you can get a VPN," and you can. I know all of that. Don't when I made the comment about Luna people, you could get a VPN and you can. I know all that. I shut up. I don't care. I just want to play it the way God intended.
Exactly. Yes, and how the average consumer is going to engage. You tell the average consumer, "Oh, it's not here, but you get a VPN." They're like, "What? I don't have a venereal disease. What are you talking about?" What?
Exactly. And I can go to the BitTorrent, and I can download.
Come on.
I can go and download the movies and stuff, but if there's something I really want to watch, or my son, he really wanted to see new Spider-Man. So in December, we went to the drive-in. In Canada, drive-in, see a movie.
Yep.
You try that sometime, people. So I think it's a good thing. You got to try stuff. You got to do these partnerships. You've got to, and it might fail. And you know what? I do. Well, before COVID, I did a lot of stuff in the startup community here in Toronto, and I've done a number of events and a number of things, data mining stuff. And I would always say, I will never fault you for trying and failing. I will. If you don't ever try, that's one thing. But if you try it and you fail, and you have to then, "Oh, you know what? I tried to do this. I tried to launch this. It didn't work. So I had to go back and get a real job." That's okay. You tried and you learned, right? And that's what Google's doing. Microsoft, they're all doing it.
Yeah.
Remember, Google's only newish to the gaming world. Sony and Mike, they've been in this 25 years, 30 years. Exactly. They've been doing this for a long time, right? I ask people, I go, what was the first 2 years of Xbox like? I wasn't alive then. I was only born in 1992. Sorry, Pete.
Sorry, Pete.
Sorry, Pete, I love you. Pete knows I love him. And I want to come. It's apparently nice, not today, but apparently a week or two ago it was nice and warm where Pete was, and he was all... I was all jealous because I love the heat. Anyways, yes, you got to try stuff, get together. Some companies are willing to push the envelope. Some companies have a bit more of a budget. We're going to talk budget. We're going to talk staffing later. You don't know that yet, but we are. And so, there could be a budget. There could be a staffing. There could be a number of things. These companies have R&D budgets. Some of them have larger. Look at Apple. Look at Apple's always testing things. Apple's always building crap and slapping an eye on it, and people are going out and buying it. So that's my 2 cents worth.
No, that makes perfect sense. I'll wait till because I'm going to add to that on the same vein, but I'll wait to chime in at the end. Pete, why are these business to business deals in your mind important for Stadia retail?
important in the sense that it helps get Stadia's name out there faster, but in a more positive light. Like Stadia's name is already out there, but as everybody knows, the press hasn't exactly been
Mhm.
favorable.
Yeah.
Um, in a nice way. So it's good to see that all of these deals are starting to happen where Stadia on a professional scale is actually doing pretty well. And that's where people's focus should be, is where the investors and stuff are growing. Not
Hmm.
what you can see, just what everything behind you is happening. That's where everything happens. So it's a good thing that overall, it's a really good thing that it's happening.
Cool. Lo-Fi, what do you think? How are these, or how are these business to business deals good for Stadia?
Are we talking just Stadia, or are we talking immersive stream?
Yeah, the immersive stream. Like, how can these things that they're doing with immersive stream, how can that trickle over and benefit Stadia?
So, for one thing, anything that's good for immersive stream has to be good for Stadia. I would think it just strengthens the backbone of it. But there's also the opportunity for innovation and from other teams using the service, that maybe they'll be like, you know what, we just did this new thing and it might be good on Stadia. You know, I don't know. I just don't see how it could be a bad thing.
Yeah. No,
it's all growth.
I think now that we learned that immersive stream kind of built Stadia opposed to the other way around, it makes more sense, because like Lo-Fi said, you built it. You're building the backbone when you build immersive stream. Into all the points that were made, and into what Jeff was saying, there's a lot of R&D involved in this stuff too, and these are the early years, so a lot of this is R&D. Like Jeff knows this, when Stadia is not looked at as a revenue source right now. You know what I mean? They don't get reported. Stadia's revenue doesn't get reported when they do their quarterlies, when Google does their quarterlies right now. So it's still kind of like the R&D phase. Now people may say, well, Stadia launched and you got to buy stuff. Well, you had to buy stuff for Luna and you bought it and you didn't question it. And they said that they're still in beta. You had to buy, access to Game Pass in order to get access to xCloud. And they say they're still in beta. I mean, so it's all relative. It is what it is, right? So
could this all be stepping stones for Google getting into the metaverse?
I mean, that's a possibility too. I mean, I know Satya and other companies have been real big in talking this metaverse talk. Like immersive stream we talked about this last show. I'm glad you brought that up, Lo-Fi. Google brought up last week, not last week, but a couple of weeks ago, that in their, what was it, I/O? I think it was. So that was like maybe a month ago. In Google I/O, they had showed where immersive stream was powering their metaverse. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's like, yeah, all these like success mimics each other, and trends, Jeff knows, trends mimic each other. So if you've seen the industry going into one set of I don't know about Jeff, but I know when I used to come in the office, there used to be the Wall Street Journal, and then there used to be what was the hot book for that month or that quarter, Zig Ziglar. You know what I mean, Jeff? Zig Ziglar and Robert T. Kawasaki and all those guys. Like, and those are the books that our managers would want us to read, because this company skyrocketed, and now they want us to mimic them ASAP, right? So the trends were set. Great question, Lo-Fi. The trends were set, and now everybody's focused on this metaverse in some shape, form, and fashion, but it just didn't come out of nowhere. You got to build up to this stuff. They just may have mentioned it now, but what they're mentioning now, they were working behind the scenes for many years. So yeah, to answer your question,
getting their toes wet before jumping in.
Yeah, it's just Google's weird-ish in how they announce stuff. Like, they're not as comforting and and long breath as everybody is when they, like Microsoft. Here's what Microsoft will do, or pretty much Xbox, not necessarily Microsoft. Microsoft, you can tell they have an idea and then it's in flight. It's an industry term. Like when we say, okay, you, Jane, Bob, Dylan, whoever, you're going to be the 8 people that are going to make this thing like happen. So go ahead and tell us what you need. And so that's when it's in flight. It's still being developed. Normally you don't make an announcement of something until it's like about to land and it's about to get the final touches on it. Microsoft likes to announce stuff in flight, where Google's a little different. They like to announce stuff once it's landed and been sitting for a while. You know what I mean? So
Apple does the same thing.
Now, I'm not that familiar with Apple. Now, which one do they do? Are they more like Google or more like Microsoft?
No, they're more like Microsoft. They'll announce stuff. They'll announce stuff and get everybody all hyped up. They'll take a turd and they'll step an eye on it, and then all the sheep will run out and wait in line for it. Yeah.
Yep.
Google, and I always say when they go, Google's got a market. That's not the Google way. You don't understand that's not the Google.
That's not the Google way. Yeah.
Right? Oh my God! At Google I/O, they didn't mention Gmail. Does that mean they're shutting it down?
Exactly. No.
People go, they didn't mention Stadia. I go, they didn't mention Gmail. Does it mean they're shutting it down?
Yep.
If you, right? You know, and I said it. And I know.
Gmail's dead.
Yeah.
Gmail's dead. I know.
My favorite, Jeff, is they took it off the homepage, so it's dead. They took Stadia off the homepage, and that one ran.
They reorganized it to make it actually look better.
Yeah, they actually reorganized it, and it died because they were taking it off the homepage. Like, like Stadia's niche. No, a lot of people that run into it or running into it from the web browser, like Stadia. I want the Stadia thing. No one's seeing Stadia on the homepage. That's why they moved it, because no one's looking at Stadia on the homepage and said, "Oh,
yeah, I haven't been able to game since they moved that."
Yeah, exactly. It's like it just doesn't make any sense.
I since they don't release their numbers, I don't know how I can continue playing it.
Tell me about it. Like, well, that's like Microsoft. Again, we say things in like this cloud bubble vacuum, and I kind of want to go into just slightly, ever so slightly, in the GFN, because I want to save that for the after show, but. I think today should have humbled a lot of us, right? And you kind of seen that, but then you kind of seen people say, "Oh, damn you, Sony! Sony, you didn't do this, and Sony, you did that, and damn you defaced GFN." No, all of these cloud platforms, as Sonny said in his fantastic video, they're young. And it's very hard for them to convince people to stay unless it's super smooth and the numbers that these companies see, they like. So, okay, GFN's porting process was super smooth. Apparently, Sony didn't like the numbers that they saw and said, okay, this experiment is done. So, GFN is not a sponge from that, just like Stadia ain't a sponge from not having a smooth porting process, okay? So I think a lot of times we get in these bubbles without understanding how the business works. We just have these emotions as gamers, like Jeff keeps stopping into, that makes us want to hit the panic button. And then what we try to do is we try to articulate those emotions and make them sound more grander than what they are when they're just emotions. All right. Yep. This is cloud gaming. It's a 1% business. You're not going to get a lot of effort, and you're not going to get a lot out of these right now. We're founders. We're in the early stages. So there's going to be things that we're going to get that's going to be great. There's going to be things that we're used to that we may have to forego if we want to be all in on this thing. You don't have to be all in on it, but if you want to be all in, you got to understand that. And just understand that, there's going to be stumbles all over the place, but they're going to learn, and they're going to build the relationships. And then once they get ready for the mainstream, then they'll fly. But for us to sit here based off of no facts, just pure emotions, and try to make up scenarios, that doesn't help you. It doesn't help anybody listening to you. And hopefully the events of today helped a lot of people understand that. I hope today humbled a lot of people. You know what I mean? Because I was hearing some crazy things about what GFN was doing and how GFN was sitting up there, with the world in their hands, like one of the gods. And you guys got to understand what we're actually dealing with here. So, it's interesting times to be a cloud gamer. I love cloud gaming, but it's going to have its ups and downs. We got to be prepared for that. And there's plenty of platforms. So, feel free to dabble in all of them. And if you don't have to dabble into multiple platforms, if you're okay with Stadia, like Jeff and I and other people, then fine. You ain't got to be apologetic about it. You don't have to like what everybody else likes, the way that they like it. So that's my spiel. What were we talking about again? I don't even remember. What the hell were we talking about?
Immersive streaming.
Yeah.
Immersive streaming and business to business.
Let me go back to my notes. Yeah. I couldn't hold that in anymore. You can tell that was just bubbling to the surface. I couldn't hold that in anymore. All right. So one thing that I do want to ask, and I'll start with Pete on this one. We'll do Pete, Lo-Fi, and then Jeff. Do you guys think it's a flip-flop that immersive stream is now being tagged as the thing that created Stadia, opposed to Stadia creating immersive stream? What do you think about that? Is that a flip-flop, or does it make sense to you? We'll start with you, Lo-Fi.
No, it makes complete sense to me, because I've thought from the very beginning that this technology can be used for so much more. It's bigger than gaming. So it just makes sense to me that way.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Pete, what do you think, Pete? Do you think that it makes sense that now Google is saying, hey, look, immersive stream actually created Stadia and not the other way around? What do you think?
Forget to unmute.
Oh, that's all right.
I'm unmuted, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you're unmuted. We can hear you.
I'm with Lo-Fi. Like, I don't know why. It just seems like it makes perfect sense. Like, that's the Google way.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Google's just very weird at doing things, but what Google does is very successful.
Mm-hmm.
They just have a very weird way of doing things, but immersive stream being like the baseline for everything makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're using their AT&T deals, using it for Stadia. Their marketing is the same tech that powers Stadia, so it makes sense.
And that's another thing. They did that white labeling with AT&T, and AT&T gave 6 months free to all of their users. That was a huge promotion.
Yeah.
Oh, was that to everybody?
Yeah, everybody that has that's under contract with AT&T.
Yeah,
Yep.
Crow Resin, I think he got 6 months. Was it AT&T he's with? I don't know. He got 6 months of Stadia for Stadia Pro for free.
Oh, I didn't claim that.
I have not paid for a month of Stadia since I joined. I got the free trial month, and instantly I got the AT&T 6 months.
Seriously,
So
you still haven't paid?
I haven't had to pay. I don't have to pay for a couple more months.
Dude, you got so much.
Yeah. I'm paying into 2023 as well.
Plus, I got that. Plus, I got the what is it? The Stadia. What is it? The thing that comes with the Chromecast Ultra, and then all that from buying one game, and the game was on sale.
Yeah.
Plus, I had $10 off.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
Right?
I remember that.
And I'm just like, what is there not to like about like the entire like?
I feel like I owe Stadia so much because just the community is awesome, and the fact that like I have this awesome backlog of games where I didn't before because I didn't have anything to play on.
That was
and
me.
then I can create content. Like what?
I know. I was when my sister's boyfriend gave it to me for Christmas, and he's like, "Hey, he's like, try this Stadia thing." He's like, "I don't know what it is." He's like, "Just, I know you're good with tech. Like, just look into it." So I hooked it all up, dude, and my mind was like instantly taken away. I was like, this entire thing is awesome. And then I found the community, and like I've been with you guys like ever since.
Yeah. Well, still got our high powered rigs, right, Pete? We still, and nothing's gonna stop me.
If my high powered rig can sit here and play God of War infinitely, then
but that CPU usage is way down, right?
Oh,
yeah. Yep.
I'm paying for 2 founders $15 a month like a muggle.
That's low.
Yeah.
I'm like a muggle over here. My God.
Yeah. Yeah. You talking about the GFN founders?
Bro, Jeff just got himself so low. He went below troll.
Like, I'm insulting myself. Like I'm a muggle. I'm paying for it. I can't figure out all these good, deals and free. We don't have free 6 months and stuff like that.
Oh,
well, I mean, AT&T also does offer 6 months free of GFN.
Yeah. They do
So
that.
you can try both.
Also,
And I'm sorry, I'm still not going to.
Jeff, too. Here's the thing: there was a. I thought you would have saw it because was it from you, Lo-Fi? Somebody had advertised where for $10 you could buy 3 months of Stadia Pro. They had it on like Penguin.com or one of those code sites. So yeah, I loaded up.
Oh, I might have because Lenovo had a gaming thing. Also,
I got
the
3
Lenovo
months.
Thing too. I got that too.
Yeah, I got that too. Yeah. Oh, dude, yeah. I'm paying up until 2023. I think April of 2023. I ain't got to pay, so good to go.
Yeah, I think I'm good till October or something.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow, that's good. Yeah, so that's great. So yeah, Jeff, definitely check out the Lenovo stuff. You can sign up for Lenovo Gaming.
I'm good till July.
I
paid June.
Did I miss all of these?
You can prepay, huh?
He just had he's talking about his current charge came out. That's so he's good till July.
I'm good till July.
Yeah, dude. No, check out Lenovo Gaming. Check them out. They'll give you like a few free months.
Remember, a lot of this doesn't apply in Canada.
I don't know. I think the Lenovo Gaming thing is not global or something.
Blame Canada.
That's only in the U.S.
Oh wow, that sucks. That sucks, but
like everything that was listed is pretty much U.S. I think.
Sucks.
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with that. Hopefully they fix that. Sorry, Jeff. You guys can't see him. Thank goodness. Or we have to raise that rating and that parental rating again.
You checked that checkbox that said this was not for kids.
Yeah, exactly.
You click that little checkbox.
Click it, underline it, and circle it. Yeah, we'd have to do that.
I wanna piggyback on what Lo-Fi said. What is Google?
Search engine.
Right?
You guys continue that discussion. I'll be right back. Go ahead.
What is search engine?
Search engine advertisement and marketing.
Is that what they are?
Yeah, well, marketing, not advertising.
Is that what they are? Okay, all right.
That's what I would say.
Okay. Google is a little bit of everything. They've got their cloud stuff. They've got all sorts of stuff. And so to piggyback on what Lo-Fi said, they're doing stuff with the U.S. government. They're doing stuff that we don't even know what they're doing. And so some of this tech, we're sitting here looking at with a gaming lens, but some of this stuff can be used elsewhere in the Googleverse.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
That's very true.
And we're just looking
very
at
large.
Exactly. That's why I asked what Google is. Right? And maybe some of that can be used in mail. Maybe some of that can be used in the maps. Right? They're doing a bunch of AR immersive stuff with maps. Where do you think they invented that tech from?
Well, think about you won't have to upgrade your phone to do so many things now.
Exactly. Right.
It'll just be in
It's just in your phone.
Back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my question was, I don't know if you heard, what is Google? They're not a search engine. They're into everything. And so I bet you some of this tech is being used elsewhere in the world for, like didn't they win a big US military? Didn't like they
was
were going
Google?
against
Global surveillance contract, probably.
I don't know. There was all three of them were trying to do some cloud.
Yeah.
They were all competing, and I don't know if one backed out versus the other. That's US stuff. I don't care. So you American guys can fact check me and tell me where I'm wrong. But maybe it was AWS one. I don't know. But again, they're doing all sorts of stuff that we don't even know about, right? So some of this tech has probably been perfected and is in Google Maps. It's in their entire Googleverse, right? You asked about, is this gonna, I think they're gonna come up with their own Googleverse, and I don't know if they're gonna join the metaverse, but I think they're gonna have their own verse. And some of this tech is being used all over the place, and then we just
Oh,
happen
yeah.
to look at it from gaming. They're probably using it all over the place.
I always imagine it like in the medical, like how it could be used in the medical field. Like you wouldn't have to carry all this hardware with you.
Exactly. I was promised that years ago. I was promised I'd have a little card or a little chip, and no matter, because I don't have an actual doctor, but we have free healthcare in Canada, so whatever. But, whenever I go to,
you can't see me doing my dance over here right now.
Exactly.
I'm using air quotes. I'm using rock and roll air quotes for free. Right, but I want to be able to have all that on my a card or my phone, and so if I go to the doctor or if I go somewhere, they can pull up. Now, I you guys can't see me, but I am fit and I am a machine here. Okay, maybe it's broken down. You can't.
That's why we couldn't show you on camera those guns.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man.
The machine may also be kind of broken down, and you can't get parts anymore. But I want to have, all that stuff on a card. And so if I had to go see a doctor, they can just, they can see my life history, right? Wouldn't it be great, if with your wife happens to see a doctor, pull up, know all about her treatments and all about, not to bring your wife into this. But so I think that's all going to come eventually, probably not in our lifetimes, but
I think that's going to come in our lifetimes.
Well, not mine.
Awesome stuff. Hey, look, we got Daryl Smock. Hey, Smock, you made it, brother. But we're.
Are you alive, Smock? I've been waiting for you, buddy.
We thought you fell into a manhole, man. You all right?
I fell asleep. I don't know when I fell asleep, but I fell asleep, and I just woke up literally like 5 minutes ago. Yeah, I've been working recently.
You came just in time. In 15 minutes, we're gonna be doing the behind the scenes, the after party talk about GFN, and we want you there for that one, brother. So came just in time. There was a good question in the chat. Good. Good question in the chat from Stadia Venture. He says, do the hosts with the high power PCs think that cloud gaming and or cloud computing will mean that they will wait longer before upgrading again? Absolutely. I don't know. I mean, I'll let Pete answer it too. I'm going to say, because now it's secondary. You know what I mean? Like, I want to have a powerful PC to do what we're doing here. You know what I mean? But now it's like, I ain't got to upgrade every 3.5 months in order to get, Battlefield 2092 at 60 frames per second. And I had those problems left and right. Just got a 2070, right? But I got it at the wrong time of the year. So now the games that were coming out at the latter end of the year, I couldn't get 1080p 60 out of. You know what I'm saying? Like, these cards are hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars now. They only have a life cycle of 6 months. You know what I mean? In a lot of cases, they're already talking about 4090s. That's ridiculous. And as somebody that just bought a house, trying to wind things down, trying to put more money away, I'm not being responsible buying a $3,000 card every 6 months. So cloud gaming is going to be cloud gaming has shifted my attitude towards gaming. I don't have to waste so much money in order to enjoy gaming. And what I'm hoping will happen is that people will understand that because the barrier is being broken down between the games that they're selling and how they get to people, that they'll start embracing it more.
You just made me think of something. I used to, when Chromebooks first came out.
Yep.
I remember thinking, what in the hell what is this?
Dude, what can I possibly do with this? The same thing.
But now I get it. You don't need all that. You know what I mean? Like it makes sense now. And like, imagine Chromebooks in the future with integrated immersive stream, like what it's going to be like. You don't have to have that hardware anymore is what they're doing.
I just said that to my wife, Lo-Fi. It's crazy that you said that. My wife said, because there's a lot of things that we're trying to do at the network. And a lot of times I don't get those things done because I got to sit down with her until she gets done with the rehab. So what I used to do is I would buy these crazy Alienware $1,500 laptops and crazy stuff like that, and I would work on them there. Well, I gave my last laptop, I gave it to my son because he was doing some stuff, right? He's making music and he needed something powerful to do it. Right. So I gave it to him. Nice. So literally I have nothing but my PC up in the office. or my PCs, but I can't lug them downstairs. So I told my wife yesterday, I said, I gotta get a Chromebook. And she said, another freaking, she's like, freaking frack, we're not buying another freaking. I said, no, calm down, sweetheart. I'm talking about a $300 Chromebook. She said, oh, I was like 300 max. Oh, really? That's all you, yeah. And I said, I can do my gaming on it too, you know, thanks to Stadia. She's like, oh, okay, cool. So,
right.
You know what I mean? It's a life. So that's a great question. It's a life changer. Anybody else want to chime in on that one?
Yeah. I was like, when Chromebooks first came out, I immediately seen the vision, because I believe they started becoming popular when Stadia was in its beta phase.
Mm-hmm.
Like after they blew up in all of the high schools, Chromebooks slowly started getting better and better. I don't know if you guys seen the trend or not, but
especially when the shutdown happened.
They just released the most powerful Chromebook they've ever made. I believe it's either an Acer or it's one of the other companies, but it's the most powerful Chromebook that they've ever made, and it's still less than $1,000.
Oh wow!
And
okay.
Yeah, it's Chromebooks are super powerful now. Like, and it's good for business too, for running businesses. They have the
Yes.
They have the industry models that's made for people, that's specifically made for people that run businesses, you know. So
yeah, I know execs that's all they use.
Yeah. Even at my job, we use Chrome boxes. I don't know if you guys remember the Chrome boxes, but my job still uses those at the job that I work at. I work at LEX, you know, and we use those all the time.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely something that people got to take into consideration. That's a great. So yeah, so it's what happens is, like, if you put more money in my pocket, guess what I'm buying more of? Games.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? I'm buying more games. Because now if I see a game that's like, I'll buy 10 games at $30 a pop, opposed to having to shell out another $300 to upgrade just one part. It psychologically makes me feel like I'm getting more bang out of my buck. You understand what I'm saying? So I hope developers understand that. So by them putting their games on these platforms, that'll entice more sales of their games, because when you just tie it to these dedicated devices, people have less to buy your games. They got to buy hard drives and they got to buy this specific controller that's overpriced. But when you put it on the cloud, those barriers are down. But the question is, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? And the thing is, developers and publishers, you got to put your games on these platforms first. As long as it's frictionless and we get it, Stadia's getting there. But once Stadia gets there, you guys got to start putting more of your games on here, because that's going to allow more people to buy your games, opposed to having to give money to hardware, and you don't get any money from that.
Stadia is really, the low change porting in the matter of weeks, it's a huge deal.
That's a huge deal. Yep.
But they have to get it down to where it's just a flip of a switch. They have to.
The fact that they can make it as fast as they can, though, is what's wild to me, dude. Like,
oh yeah, but I'm saying there's other cloud platforms that's all it is a flip of a switch, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. I don't think. See, a couple of weeks. See, to your point though, Lo-Fi, I think what a couple of weeks mean at first, and I don't think that's like their endpoint. Their endpoint isn't a couple of weeks. But to your point, I think what a couple of weeks mean is, oh, okay, this we can port this to Stadia. We only got to dedicate a couple of weeks to it. All right, and we get, decent performance. But I think to your point, when we get it actually turnkey, where it's a flip of the switch like everybody else, then that's when we're gonna see all these games be at max performance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because now right now they're thinking, how much money can I make, and how much money do I have to spend to even make this happen? So yeah, exactly. Once they see that there's money to be made and it's like no effort.
I totally agree. Cool. All right, we got a few moments. Let's talk about Jeff's favorite subject. He's been waiting for this one. I was torturing him. I made this the last subject matter on purpose to spite Jeff. Let's talk about it. Madden 23. Wow. So here's what's going on with Madden 23 as far as we know. And you know how we do. Let me show you something. All right, so this is a tweet from me. Subliminally, but I'll never do it straightforward, subliminally conceding to Jeff. I said, look, Stadia is not listed at the moment as platforms for Madden 23. This is from the pre-orders page, so hopefully there's a late announcement or even a late arrival. But if nothing planned at all, not good for the current / potential Madden fan base from Stadia, we'll continue to watch this space. And then if you go to the pre-order page, when they say platform availability, they have PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and PC via EA or Windows App, Origin, Steam, and Epic Game Store. Now, again, because this is on the pre-orders page, we don't know if they're saying that this is ultimately the availability for the pre-orders or what, you know. Prior, they just flat out said it's coming to Stadia, though. So this right here isn't the best of signals, but we don't know. All right. I know there were earlier pages that were available, but then those have been removed. And I get it. Stadia is still in the HTML. So again, we don't know. But so far, it's not looking like that's the case. I'm gonna let Jeff get his rocks off first, though. But Jeff, you have a problem with Madden.
I will go last.
Man.
I'll share my thoughts.
Go ahead, Spock.
When was the last time we've seen any game for pre-order on Stadia? When was the last time a game is that you can pre-order on Stadia? I don't think there's been like a new game that we can pre-order any like on Stadia for like a little minute.
Yeah,
that's true. To me, since that's been the trend, I don't think EA is looking at Stadia for pre-order sales because the how I'm thinking that they're thinking about it is you don't put in the Stadia doesn't take our money until the game launches anyway. I know the pre-order sales is there just to gauge the hype of the game.
Yeah.
But since that's been the trend with pretty much all of the Madden games,
yeah,
I believe that if they're going to announce it, it's going to be closer to release date.
Okay. And that's a possibility.
But this doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. Lo-Fi, what you think? What does this mean to you?
It's confusing, man. It's like you said, like that could just be some leftover HTML. It could be caching. I really. This is. I mean, it just like you said, no pre-sales. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
I mean, so let me ask you this though, because Jeff is cracking up over there. Do you think if it doesn't come to the platform, let's just play devil's advocate. And again, I hate going down this road. Let's say it's not. Okay, what are your thoughts if it doesn't come?
If it doesn't come, it doesn't change anything for me. I don't even play the sports games anyway, unless it's something my friends just can't put down.
Okay, gotcha. Pete, what are your thoughts on this? I mean, you think this is something to take seriously now, or and then also I'm gonna ask you the devil's advocate question. What if it doesn't come?
Like, sorry, I was listening honestly until I forgot that nobody else can see Jeff.
No, I was asking you, do you what do you think? Do you think that this revelation means it is definitely not coming, or it's too early to tell? And the part two of that question is, what if it doesn't come? So go ahead.
I'm gonna kill two birds with one stone. Again, I don't care if it comes or doesn't come. Like, I've never cared for those types of games anyway. So it's like doesn't hit anywhere, it's not a huge loss. I could play it on my computer, probably still make an interest
Mm-hmm.
in it. Sorry, Jeff is really making me.
I know Jeff is Jeff because he's warming up.
I'm gonna turn you off. Sorry, Emma.
That's all right. No, well, I mean, you guys see my thoughts, and Slush and I think tomorrow I'll hammer my thoughts on this because I want to hear what Jeff has to say too because we're running out of time. But I will just say that Madden was vital to Stadia placing in the top NPD games or the charting games. That having a game like Madden that consistently hits those charts is what helps Stadia.
That's because
I was just thinking it's more like a badge of honor almost.
Yeah.
To say, oh, we have it over here.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's nothing special about the game. Like,
there is something special about it. I disagree with that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, because I'm going to say, I think because it's a commercial favorite that it probably was responsible on a Stadia level for bringing some players here. You know what I mean? So
yeah, definitely.
But I think the bigger one is FIFA, and it looks like that FIFA. You know, if you look at some of the rumors that have been out there from some credible sources, it looks like they definitely retained FIFA. You know what I mean? So
dude, I'm not even into soccer. That game looks amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that game is huge. FIFA's way huge.
22 looks good too, though. Like that game was good too.
Yeah. What were you saying, Pete?
I was thinking about getting it. I just never.
Yeah.
Even on sale, dude.
Oh yeah, that's right. I gotta get that. I want to get it. I gotta get it because it's $10. It's still on sale.
I wish they would sell us just the game code so you could just give it to people.
Dude, yes. Yeah, like
so many friends of mine would be into it.
What Stadia, baby? I love you, baby. I love you. What is we doing about these game codes, yo? Like, this is a community built on interaction and engagement. I get that there might, and I talked about this before from a business sense, because there might be taxation involved, Jeff, right? That could be the problem or whatever, with different locales and stuff like that. You got to be like here in the United States, you got to be registered in particular states in order to do things like giveaways because of how they're taxed. It's very complicated tax law.
It's like I just want to be able to give a friend a game and then try out the sticking service, like because I know if I was able to give them that game, they'd be like, well, I got
it's a Google thing, like altogether. Like Google, they don't do international give. I think it's a top down thing because a lot of you guys are newer to the platform. In 2020, they were doing a lot of giveaways, and then they stopped all of a sudden. They were doing a lot and they stopped. Like they were doing giveaway Fridays. I don't know if you guys remember that. Wow. They were doing like when Xbox was doing giveaway Fridays, like Major Nelson was doing them. So was Stadia. Stadia was doing giveaway, and then they just stopped all of a sudden. And I think and then they just stopped the giveaways altogether. I think, and then when they were doing like the bundles promotions, they weren't doing them in Canada or anything like that. You know what I mean? So I think it has something to do with taxation. But Google, please figure it out, please. Like, that's an Achilles heel as far as interacting with people. I applaud our good friend Jack Dislip for giving out games, but he's giving out monetary equivalents to it. Like we should be able to. I get it though.
Yeah, I get it though, because I've heard of musicians trying to get their music being able to be cleared for people to use copyright free, like on YouTube and Twitch and on like it's not easy to just give away your stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, Harris Heller created his whole Steam Beats, and
I love his.
He had to have lawyers help him do it, you know.
Oh yeah, and even still, he says, you can use it on Facebook, but still times, the algorithm still catches you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a perfect science, and he makes all his money off of the plays and the replays on Spotify and whatever. That's the only place I go for music. Yes, I know I should use some of the others, but I any songs you hear on any
for sure. Shout out to Stream Beats, man.
Yeah.
All right. So with that said, we're gonna turn it over to Jeff. Jeff, I get it. You got me boxed in. You got me cornered. I can't wiggle and run from you.
Let me let me back up and just explain my history. So I have been playing Madden. Obviously, I'm not in the. If you go back to some old pictures, I have every Madden.
Dope.
Every single one of them. I have them. I have the original John Maddens from. Like I have every Madden up until the last one. The last few before that were digital, but I have them. I have every Madden. I have been playing Madden since the 90s. I have been very active. I was very active in the Madden community. Okay, so that's my history. I think it not coming to Stadia is not a Stadia problem. I believe it is an EA problem.
Okay.
They are trying to be sold. They want to get sold. They have lost staff. There is a number of high-profile people who have left, not just in the gaming inside of it, but in all the others. I don't think their hires they don't hire the best. I think it's an EA problem. And I'm not, and my disillusion with EA, look at Battlefront 2042.
Yeah.
Look at that. And they even came out on an earnings call because they got pressed by investors about it. And they had to say, yeah, we didn't know what we were doing. So it's an EA problem. It's not a Stadia problem. And they are going with what they know, PC, Xbox, and PlayStation, because it's easy for them. And whoever they hire, and again, they don't care. One, because they're trying to be, and B, they still make $1 billion. The kids are buying the packs, and now there are rumors they're going to come out with crossplay, and everybody was tweeting going, Stadia, why doesn't it have crossplay? Why doesn't FIFA have crossplay? Again, that's not a Stadia problem, because I would comment and say, is it crossplay on Xbox and PlayStation?
That's the thing people don't get, is that a lot of this lands on Stadia, but it's the developers and the publishers.
Exactly. Yeah. And yes, they say they're coming out with it. I'm not convinced. Now, I want somebody to fact check me. They make all their money from Ultimate Team. That's all they care about. Whether it's FIFA Ultimate Team or Madden Ultimate Team or whatever. That's where they make their money. And I know Ray's still in the chat. He's going to be going troll, not even looking at the chat, right? And a shout out to Ray. Ray's an EA partner, so that's fine. Ray, close your ears. But that's where they make their money. But if you go and you look through their tweets, and one of the things that really turned me off the game was every time they would launch a promotion. All right, starting on Friday, it's the new June promotion. And then halfway through the day, well, there's a problem with that. Our engineers are looking at it. And like, if you go back to 21, they made a big deal about if you go and you buy this pack, you have a chance of getting this card. Turn my camera off for the people watching at home. I turned my camera off so nobody can see me flailing my arms. Then they came out halfway through the day and said, yeah, the engineers, we figured out that it was actually never in a pack. So
they hit you with the McDonald's sweepstakes.
So imagine paying money for a chance to pull a key to win a car, and there are no keys in those things. None of those keys start the car.
That's low.
That's what so if you go back through their tweet, and I challenge anybody to do this. Every time there was a promotion, and okay, you're gonna maybe find one that wasn't. They're gonna here's one that was, but every promotion they would do, they would have events. Come on at 7 o'clock. Between 7 and 8, you can play the game, and you have a chance to win the golden ticket. Lets you design your own card, and you log in. Servers are crashed, and then they'd come out a half hour like, yeah, we understand our servers are down, and we can't. Every single time, it's an EA. So yes, you say that I hate Madden, but it's not necessarily Madden. That's the game I play, and that's the game that would frustrate me. The number of times I would be screaming, and again, don't take my word for it. And I've challenged you. And I've said to you, if I not said to you, find me something positive. I challenge anybody. Find me something positive.
You know, this is kind of a...
I can send you lots of... There's a professional gamer that would make his money playing Madden. He quit because the game, he just couldn't play it. So the problem, it's not a Stadia problem. It is an EA problem. And I have said, if Google buys EA, I will go and work for them for free. But again, it's an EA problem. No, sorry, Ray, if Ray's in the chat yelling at me. I apologize, Ray. I love Ray. Ray's one of my dearest friends.
He says Jeff is giving me a headache.
I know he's an EA partner, etc. I know all that. I understand that. But as long as they keep making money selling the packs to kids, and people are, they're just spending the money on the packs, or they watch the YouTubers who get the stuff for free. So go back a year, or just watch coming up when the game releases in August. It's going to be either live streams or look, I opened up 10 packs. Wait to see what card I got. And then you'll go and watch the video. And he's opening pack after pack, and hopefully, and he always gets the magic card. Always. And there was a YouTuber last year when they were talking about franchise, and please do not even get me started on franchise. He got an early copy, and he was doing a live stream showing what was coming the next day. How did he get that? It's an EA problem. It's not a Stadia problem.
So here's my not rant. No. I'm not a big fan of EA. I love Respawn. I just like playing Madden. I really had no argument against you. I was just trolling you online, just waiting until I could no longer run from you. I get you so energized, and we get the great rant that we just got. Here's a scenario that I want to ask you in the panel before we move on to the after show. What if what's happened is, because look, Stadia normally curates its content for quality. I would say in 2022, they've kind of scaled back a little bit because again, Sunny Cloud Gaming, I think, hit it right on the nose. He talks about things that he's heard as far as how late developers got access to the toolkit. I know from the press release that this is public information, that they said that generally we shouldn't expect all developers to get access to this toolkit until the end of the year. So again, that means that you're not going to see the fruition of this until 2023. You know what I mean?
Slow rollout, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a slow rollout. So that's when 2023 is when you're going to see the fruition of this. That being said, based upon what Sonny said, you might see it a little bit sooner. That being said, here's my thought, Jeff. So I want your thoughts and the panel's thoughts, then we'll move on. What if Stadia did their normal thing, saw what was being developed, and thought like you, and said, as far as Madden is concerned, we're not going to pay for this because we're not really paying for anything. We'll make some exceptions, but we're not paying for this. We'll pay for FIFA because FIFA's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And look, why? And then you got to think about it. Why in the hell would they be enacting crossplay for FIFA if that's not coming back? So there's rumors that FIFA's coming back for Stadia, and they've recently enacted crossplay, and they kept putting it on sale. So maybe Stadia said, "Nah, we're not going to pay for Madden. We're going to pay for FIFA, And when the load change porting becomes available, you guys can port it over then. You know what I mean? And we're not paying for anything then because it's all turnkey. Well, not necessarily turnkey to Lo-Fi's point, but it's a lot easier to develop for. So, what do you think about that, Jeff? Is that a possibility or no in your mind?
No. I think that whoever initially worked at EA who knew what to do has left. And they have, I think they just have a bunch of poorly paid monkeys, and they make $1 billion off of packs, and the uneducated will go, it looks so nice on Stadia, and the those of us that know, again, no offense, Ray, I see Ray's in the chat. I refreshed the thing and I saw Ray in the chat. No offense, but those of us that know the game, you know why it's in the HTML? You know, again, guys at home can't see me, but he mentioned it's still in the HTML. Do you know why? Same reason why. If you go back to some, I think they may have patched it now, but in some when 21 came out, they still had 19 print screens on the sideline because their attention to detail is non-existent. That's why it's there. So my issue is not, and yes, there's all this stuff that they keep saying. Did you watch the trailer today? That was my God. I couldn't stop laughing at the number of mistakes that I found in the game. And again, I challenge Ray and everybody, go find me something good. Go find me good content. And I will then admit that I was wrong. I will you heard it here live, recorded. But again, you will not. So I think there is serious problems going on there at EA, which is I think why they're looking to sell.
Interesting.
That's some key people have left. Some key people have left. There are, and I don't even have to tell you this, there's lots of YouTube channels where they've made a career out of just pointing out what's wrong with Madden. And everybody gets mad at them and they say the same thing. Send us something good and we'll show it.
I just remembered something.
What's that?
I won game keys for Madden 22. And I wasn't interested. And I tried to give them away, 100%. And nobody wanted them.
Oh, wow.
100%. That EA, because again, depending on how you read their agreement with the NFL, right? It doesn't matter how many they've sold. It's how many copies are out there. So come August, everybody's given to go online. Everybody go on Twitch. And go on Twitch and tell me how many people are streaming Madden compared to a few years ago. But that's besides the point. Everybody and their brother will be giving away keys. Every team, every player, and I'll forward them all to you. I will forward them all to you because that's all they can. And if you buy the game, sucker, then sorry, because you can get copies for free. People offer me copies all the time, and I'm like, no, I don't want it. Sorry. Now, if somebody in Canada, in Southern Ontario, has a PlayStation that I can borrow, so I can play the beta that's coming out. I know it's going to be it's going to be a piece of crash because I've been given access to the beta, but I can't play it because it's only for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series, whatever. So if I can get my hands on one, I'll play it, but I know it's going to be a piece of crap. And just go watch the clip. Go watch. They produced a video today, and it's horrible.
It wasn't just horrible. It was horrible.
It was. And everybody says the same thing. Oh, it looks so nice on Stadia. But if you understand how football works, you will know, and I know Ray is, probably, I can imagine what Ray is saying to me in the chat. I love Ray, and I respect his opinion. And but it's you want to play Madden 23? Go play Madden 20. It's exactly the same. It has not changed, and it's not going to change.
I will say this: that I love Madden.
If they gave it to me for free, and then just updated the rosters or do whatever, then that's fine. Put out the same piece of crap. But making me pay hundreds of dollars in Canadian money for the same thing where and it's hilarious where people, I'll make comments online and someone goes, "Oh yeah, come online and I'll kick your ass at Madden." And I go, you think you're great because the animations fall your way? It's not physics-based. It's all animations. So if you do well when you play the game, if you score well, it's because the animation. Go Google, go figure out what DDE is. Go figure out what that is, and then come back to me.
Yeah, I like 20.
Anyways, it's an EA problem. It's not a Stadia problem.
I like 21. I played 22, and 22 feels like to me a smoother 21. I don't see the big iterations, but I haven't seen big iterations from Madden in a long time, and I say people just settled for it. That's what.
What? And if you enjoy playing the game, if it gives you hours of fun, awesome. Then go and spend your money. You want to spend your money, or you get a free key, awesome. But if you want to spend your money and you enjoy playing it, go for it. Yeah. Just tell me I'm an a-hole.
No.
Tell me, Ray, to kiss your butt. And if we get to, and I will if we get to do it on my OnlyFans.
I wish we could have got Ray in here that would have been great too.
Premium. But again, I will always say if you enjoy playing it, great.
When we get information that solidifies whether it's coming or not, Jeff, you got to come back for sure, and Ray, you got to come as well. We got to have that as part of the show, definitely. But go ahead, Smock. Smock, what were you about to say?
One thing I wanted to comment on, just not to broaden the subject too much, but it's not just EA. It's EA, it's 2K, it's Codemasters, it's all of the sports games that makes game. It's Call of Duty as well. That all of these games that makes games on a yearly basis. That's pretty much just a glorified. That's basically what Destiny does. It's basically an expansion of the last game where they're updating a few things, making it run better, things like that. All of these sports games suffer from the same issue.
Yes.
And
yes, 100%. And to me, Madden is broken, and I don't want broken games on Stadia. And if they had taken off Cyberpunk when it wasn't working well, I would have been okay with that. What's the game right now? Somebody tell me the game that isn't saving properly. The saves are gone.
Yeah.
Is that
I heard they fixed it though.
Yeah, I heard they well, my save came back. So.
Okay,
they fixed it.
And that's fine. If they wanted to take that off because it's not working and people are playing and if it's quote broken, I'm okay with that. That's my issue. I don't want broken things on the platform. I want things that are working well.
There are broken things though because of the SG&E thing.
I want to make a comment. It's way off topic.
Excellent.
Emma, remember when we did the before it was weekly checkup, it was Saturday checkup. Remember when I said Ubisoft had the bug where I couldn't continue the story in the DLC? It's still not fixed. It's still not fixed.
That's Valhalla, right?
Valhalla, yeah. The Dawn of Ragnarok. They still didn't fix that bug, and I still can't control the story mode in the DLC, which I paid for. I think it was like $30 or something.
Well, that might
and they
need to
still
be.
haven't fixed it.
We might.
Mr. Lewis says there's some issue with Avengers and matchmaking or and teaming. I don't know all the story, but Mr. Lewis says something about Avengers or some issue with that too.
Oh yeah.
So if things aren't, and I don't know, Lo-Fi, maybe you know more than me. I don't know anything about it. I only play with him. So if there's an issue, then if there's an issue and it's not working, take it off. Take it off temporarily while the issue gets fixed.
Oh, interesting stuff. All right, well, Jeff, I never had a counter argument to because you're well versed in Madden. I just like playing Madden 21 after not touching Madden for decades after the whole debacle with 2K5. And Madden 21 is probably the last Madden I'll ever play. I'm waiting for. You look at what's that? The 2K emulator or whatever you call it out there on PC. That game looks awesome. It's based off the base game of 2K5. So,
And
I'm waiting for that to come back. So
2K has their own issues. Everybody has their own.
Yeah, exactly. Especially it's not the same.
So,
it's not the same 2K. It's not the same 2K.
Everyone loves MLB the Show, but it's got issues. It's got its own challenges too. So it's not an EA problem. But going back to this issue, what's happening with FIFA in EA? Can somebody what's happening? Something is happening.
You talking about
EA?
The name?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're changing the name. This is the last the FIFA 20.
Yeah. Why is that? Why is that? Oh wait, hang on. Hang on. Why?
It was the contract.
Oh, right. Oh, what FIFA
Contract.
didn't want EA anymore? Oh, is that? Oh, really? EA, FIFA? Oh, is that what it is? Oh, yeah. So that's gonna be coming. That will be that's a foreshadow. Oh, can I make one other off comment? Not anywhere.
Yep.
There will never be PlayStation 7 or Xbox, whatever they come up with next.
Mm-hmm.
There will never be another.
I don't think so.
You think this is the last?
Everything's gonna go to the cloud? I don't agree. I don't agree. I think it'll be around for at least another generation. Another like.
When
imagine the price on it.
That is my prediction. Is that we have seen the last PlayStation console.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff.
You seriously
they're making the PS5 Pro and the Slim, I believe already.
Okay, this is an entirely different
I think they might keep making things, but it's not gonna be like, it's gonna be more like you're getting ripped off.
Yeah, pros are. I'm not buying it.
The pro's going to be a waste of money. Just telling everybody right now,
because everybody still can't get their hands on. I believe GameStop had a stable release recently where more people can buy it in store instead of like online, which is good. They need to just start doing that again if they want to release these things like how they used to.
All right, folks. Yeah. Well, let's do this before we go any further because we're almost 30 minutes over. Let's close up this show and let's take it over to the after show, where our main topic will be GFN. So I want to thank everybody for making this a hell of a show. Our guest, Lo-Fi and Jeff G, and then we hope you guys can join us for the after show. But let's start with Doyle Smock. Smock, let the people know where they can find you.
You'll find me right here on YouTube at Smog Junior Gaming. I usually be on live stream, but lately my schedule has been kind of crazy. So, but I do plan on streaming again soon, and you can also catch me on Twitter at N2OLA. And make sure to tune in tomorrow.
Yes.
For the weekly checkup.
Yes, absolutely. If you're a member, tune in tomorrow for weekly checkup. Everybody else will get to see it Sunday, but we're going to have a great conversation about some of this stuff, some more stuff. Like we didn't get a chance to talk about Project Z. I'm going to talk about that with Smock tomorrow. We got a lot of stuff to talk about tomorrow. So definitely check that out. And again, if you want to catch it live, because a lot of the questions that we answer on air that you see us talking about on Sundays are from the members. Become a member, hit that join button below. Also, before I go through the rest of the panel, for the after show, if you want to be part of the after show, we're opening up to all members. All you got to do is be a member. Just hit tight. It'll take you directly out over there. If you're not a member, fix that right now. Hit that join button. I want to thank all the members. Thank the winners of our giveaways, Dr. StreamX and Seymour Butts. I don't know if you're a real person, Seymour Butts. But if you are, you want a controller, so you can get a controller that you can use your cheeks to try to move the analog sticks, whatever you do, I don't care. But you got to get to, you got 2 more days. You got 2 more days before I re-roll the raffle. All right. Okay. Next, we're going to go to Pete. Pete, let the good people know where they can find you at.
You guys can always find me on Twitter at foremost_GG. That's usually where I'm at. You can find me writing articles on the StadiaDosage website. Woo! We need writers.
Yeah.
But we need writers. I like being a writer though.
I like being a writer.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yes,
It's fun
absolutely.
when you like latch onto an idea. It's really good to like get it all out, like on actual like paper. But yeah,
Sure.
so you guys can find me on there in Stadia Dosage. I'm gonna be like Smock. I want to tell you I'm gonna live stream, but I just can't right now because my work schedule is really chaotic too. So you might catch like little like direct streams on Stadia here and there, but won't see much until I can get everything fixed. But yeah, that's basically where you guys can find me for now.
Cool. All right, for guest number 1, Lo-Fi Monk, let the good people know where they can find you at.
You can find me right here on YouTube at look for Lo-Fi Monk or youtube.com/Lo-Fi Monk, LOFIMONK. You can find me on Twitter at Lo-Fi_Monk, and my show Cloudy Thoughts on Friday nights.
Awesome. And last but certainly not least, the Madden hater himself, Mr. Jeff G. Where can people find you at?
Very easy. I am at Jeff Jadak everywhere that's important, except unfortunately, TikTok. I'm Jeff M. Jadak there, but you know, that's whatever. Mondays and Wednesdays, I do my live community streams at 8 p.m. Eastern. Mondays is Wreckfest. Wednesdays is Creta and Super Animal Royale, and now Golf with Friends. Friday nights is Retro Gaming Friday night. That starts earlier at 6:30, and then when I finish that, I live redirect right into. It's not called Raid. Do not call it Raid. It pisses me off when people are we're gonna go raid somebody on YouTube. No, you're really not. That is not a thing. Call it what it is. Anyways,
it sticks.
That's a different platform. That's a different thing. I do stream on that platform, but that's a different thing. If you're gonna say it right.
To raid.
So I live redirect my Retro Gaming Friday night. When I'm done, I live redirect right into Cloudy Thoughts. And also,
thank you very much.
Oh, you're very welcome. Love the show. I did. You asked me to be on it, and fortunately, life is chaotic at the moment, as you know.
But it will happen.
Once I get all settled and stuff, yes. And I do have a new show called The Business Of, where I take a look at the business side of things. I've talked about fundraising. I've talked about gaming. And I talked to I talked to the Liquid Bit CEO about what it's actually like to run a gaming company and things that nobody ever even thinks of. They just go, why is it? They just tweet people, where my game does broken, fix it. Why can't you do this? Why can't you, but he talks about what it's actually like to, and all the things that go on behind the scenes that nobody
really
ever sees.
Lurked on it.
Sorry?
I lurked watching that one. It was really good.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Coming up, I'm doing a show on the business of the USFL, the United States Football League, for those that is. I've also got shows on Web3, crypto, NFT. Want somebody to explain to me why I have to buy it, why I can't just print the JPEG out and stick it on my wall like I used to do. Someone's got to explain that to me. So I'm going to be doing shows on that and a bunch of other things. I did a show on sports tax. So lots of cool stuff on the business of, where we look at the business side of things. So those are periodic. I don't have that a fixed time for those. I rely on other people's schedules. You know what that's like, right, Pete?
Oh yeah, and my guest this Friday is going to be Ray, the gaming cyborg.
All right, Ray. So Ray will get his revenge. The revenge of Ray. He's gonna get. He's gonna have a lot to say about Jeff. I bet.
I got broad. I'm old and I got broad shoulders. And again, how many times have I said, find me something positive? I will admit that I'm wrong.
All right.
And I just say, look at Battlefront 20.
Check out both of those shows. I will.
Battlefield.
Definitely.
Excuse me.
And have fun.
I appreciate you guys all having me on.
Absolutely. Well, so don't go anywhere yet, Jeff. We're gonna do the after show. I got to get your insight on this.
It's 7. Start.
Jesus Christ!
Oh,
I'm old. I have to.
Come on, man. That's where you're supposed to have some Metamucil stuck under your armpit, man. For those moments.
I've been sitting in this chat since 4:15.
All right. I guess we'll let you go. All right. Well, with that said,
I'll see if I can put in a rant.
I'll hang out for a few minutes.
I'll hang out for a few minutes.
I'll get your take on it first. So everybody, when I close this, y'all know where to find me. I'm here, damn it. So when I'm gonna close this, you're gonna go over to the after party. If you're a member, if you're not a member, fix that now. Now is your chance. Okay. All right. With that said, peace. Have a wonderful gaming day.
Hey.